All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with a message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm pretty sure you all see the topic, and I like to chime in on that topic and that topic pretty much alone. And we're talking about no, I might add a little something else to it, but which is Geno Jennings. Uh, there is a lot of voices in the land, and a lot of the voices is void and vexed. It's worthless. But yet, it's many voices in the land speaking. One thing else I learned throughout even the time pulling away from YouTube, I recognized that a lot of trouble, a lot of destruction, a lot of men, brown skinned men, a lot of European men, a lot of people saying a lot of things. And that's just in the world itself. But I like how the Father is allowing them to bury themselves. I really get a kick out of that because it seems as if when He leaves them and let them be, and the date, the hour, and the moment is upon them, it's nothing they can do. Trouble is before them on every side. And it's like, let go and let loose all kind of chaos. And I see that the Father has moved away as He said He would. He said He would do that. And He's allowing, not as if He wasn't aware of what is actually taking place. And I think that's the part to make me feel sad about a creator who have created the beginning to the end and everything in between. And we look at Him stupid and trying to speak on His behalf and trying to say we represent Him without really knowing that that's not how He rumbled. A lot of things is going on, not just with Pastor Dowell, but many others on these platforms and in the world itself. Many things is taking place. And Sister Deborah is like standing back off like, wow, and the reason why I'm standing back saying, wow, is because these are things He already spoke to me about that shall come to pass. And when you're quiet and you low, then you'll see the way the Father roll. You'll see Him putting everything and allowing everything to fall in place according to His right hand and His power. That what orchestrated everything from the beginning to the end. I was thinking about Saul. And I said to the Father, I said, okay, now I see Saul over here. And I noticed you gave Saul a helping hand, which was Samuel, the prophet. And what a lot of you all don't understand, a lot of these men that's on these platforms are men of their flesh. They are born of the flesh. They have no power punch of the Most High's Yah right hand near them. They don't have prophets nor prophetess. It doesn't matter he or her. And you're going to find that out today. Something that you've been misled to believe. But I'm going to show you what the Father said. Because sin stepped in. You made His word wrong and made your word in the way you want to proceed it right. You see? And what He was explaining to me as far as Saul and Samuel, He said, look over here, Deborah, you see Saul? I told Samuel to tell him that he's going to be the king. But do you know, Deborah, I knew he was going to fall. I knew he wasn't going to represent me. I knew he was going to err. Just because you are in a position that appear on the outside. You're dealing with the flesh. You're dealing with the flesh. You are appearing on the outside that you all that and some to those that are weak-minded, especially the males. The same way that these males have fallen and bowed down to a God of their choosing and choice of trying to make a flesh of a man their connection to the Most High God. When that everything on that tree, Pastor Dowell, is like unto a tree that's bearing fruit. Now listen to this. You got to take this in the parable. And when I swing it in the parable, then you're going to grip it in the spirit. He's like a tree that's bearing fruit. And each one of those fruits are going to fall off the tree, rotten, leave, and be as rotten as they were when they was connected to the tree. They're not going to come out and be good or do something positive in the world. What he has done, Dowell, what he has done, he had already done. It's just that y'all eyes are not open to see. Y'all do not know. You do not know. You do not only know, you don't understand spirit and truth with the right hand holding the light. And because you don't know these things, you take on to a flesh of a man and assume that he is like unto you as a God. And then you begin to treat him and put him on pedestals. And then you become him. His wrong, his wicked, his evil, it become you and you become him. So if that tree start to wither, everything on that tree, said the Most High Yah to the sister today, shall be destroyed. It's no way that the Father gonna have this rotten tree there all the time. And because you looked on his outside and you took on what he said and made him your God, your idol, everyone that has followed him, male and female, should go down with the Titanic. Did you all understand that the Titanic was set up? It was planned to sink. It was set up. They set it up to sink. All those people getting on this Titanic, paying this type of money just to sink with the ship. They went down with the ship. When the Father want me to say to you all on this here platform, when the ship sink, everything on the ship and what's once connected to the ship shall sink. Let's say, for instance, if there's a tree, and we're dealing with Dowell. He is a tree that's planted. Everything grow on it. Even the leaves and the fruit shall sink with the ship. Let's say, for instance, you had some fruit that fell off the tree and decided to pull away from and move on. It don't matter where you move on. You stay too close to the tree. You stay too close to the tree. Now the tree is you and you are the tree. It's no way out. Because not only is this individual, you had lined this person above the Most High Yah. And that's when you lost who you are, who you're going to be. It's when you took on the flesh of a man. And this is what you see. You see a lot of brown skin. I'm going to call Judith brown skin, even though I'm going to say Judith. Sometimes I'm going to say brown skin. Men, they have a very high level of low-minded that they have to be a man under a man. I would rather be under a woman and be the man so you can see who you are. But when you're a man under a man, something gonna go wrong, y'all. See, a lot of times you hear them say a woman can't raise a son. What a man didn't know, it don't take a woman to raise a son to be a man. A man is born a man. This is how weak-minded the brown-skinned men are. They're very weak-minded. They don't understand by birth are you a man, not by being or coming up and brought up as a man. It's like walking. It's like talking. It's like learning to use the bathroom. It no matter who brought you up, you're going to be who y'all created you to be. And if that's not the truth, then these people that's out here that's portraying to be a woman and saying that they're gay and that they entitled to be that by righteous. Because then therefore they can be born a male and say that they something else. So here you go, you got men born to be a man, and they sit and tell you a man can be brought up by another man. A woman can't raise a man. Why didn't you say that to the Most High Yah when he knew it to the point where he prophesied that the women will be left with the children that won't obey? Why did you say, Father, you're going to visit the iniquity of the man 3 to 4 generation? You know why he said that? Because women nor brown-skinned men don't understand the monsters that you're seeing today. It comes out of the inside of a man. And y'all say, I will visit the sin of that monster 3 to 4 generations. That means it ain't escaping me, Deborah. I'm not going to let them get away. So sometimes I say, Father, y'all, do you see that? He said, what is it that I don't see? You know, I seen it in the heavens before it hit the earth. So when we're dealing with Pastor Dowell, I say, you're dealing with a man that men made a God. And when they made him a God, they themselves now are detached to an idol God. You look at the young man, not he's young. Yeah, he's young to me, but Rufus, let's set an example. The one that, and he's not the first one. There's been many of women and men with the same issue that he had. The difference between Rufus' issue between him and Dowell is you all sick. He's the apple that was so close to the tree. His thoughts, his ways, his mindset is like unto Dowell. He ain't going to escape it because the Father said to me today, he is like unto the rotten tree. And you get these brown-skinned Judah on this devil platform battling which side they want to swing. What difference does it make which side you want to swing? The Most High Yah wants me to tell you, you swung on the bad side all the time. So you can take Rufus side, or you can take Dowell. The Father in heaven said, what difference does it make? The apple that was hung on a tree for all those years is no different than the tree itself. Praise the mighty Yah. But you got these low-minded, brown-skinned tribe of Judah in which the Spirit of the Most High Yah has charged this sister, oh yeah, to be in the midst as a prophetess. Not the prophetess and the prophet out of the mouth of a man, but out of the Spirit of the Most High Yah does I answer unto. You see? Can you keep that one quiet? No, you can't. You can't keep none quiet unless those that's under that bad apple, yeah, they can be silent and quiet because that's their God. I'm the prophet of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How you like me now? So I say unto you, I sit back and I think of Deuteronomy 28. And I love Deuteronomy 28 because today the Father told me, oh, but see, Deborah, you done won the game. I said, I don't like playing games. So he said, but no, the game You done beat the game. You done won it. And I said to him, I said, you know what? When I saluted, I accepted, I embrace it. I see what you done. That's winning it. You beat it. You done beat the game. It's called the end game. Deuteronomy 28, end game. He said, you won't get a melanated man on this earth. Not a melanated. He's the tribe of Judah. You won't get him, not one of them, to be able to win the end game of Deuteronomy 28. You know why? Because theirs is set up in the mindset of a flesh of a man. They so busy. And let me show you what the Father told me. He said the only reason why they fell into that and start loving on it is because it bashed women and it uplifted men. See, if they could bring women low, praise the mighty Yah, then they can move higher. And these pastors have a tendency of degrading and bringing women down so low to the lowest sum, to where if they bring them low, then I can move higher. That was their only choice. Now you got to understand, Judith, who you think brought all your children up, fed them, put a roof over their head? 90% of Judith men ain't never seen wasn't raised by their father. Somebody brought them up. And if you think for 1 minute, because mother clothed you, put a roof over your head, took care of you, that made you who you are. No, Father knew who you are from the kingdom of heaven before the foundation of the world. Just as he put Saul to be king over Israel. Turned around and put who? Samuel as his prophet. Wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. Wait a minute, hold up. You mean you're gonna assign Saul to be the king? Wait a minute, hold up. You're gonna assign Saul to be the king? Hold up, Father. You're gonna assign Saul to be a king, but then you're gonna turn around and send your spiritual prophet to bag him up and out. Because when he was right, he bagged him up, but when he was wrong, he bagged him up out of being the king. Who was that? The prophet of the Most High Yah. But Saul was placed there. He was also taken out of there. Same one built him up into the position was the same right-hand power of Yah that brought him out. So when y'all running around here with this flesh, putting these men on pedestals like they some sort of, they are your idol God. That's what Israel always did. The Father said, Deborah, they forever wanted an idol God. That means they always wanted every other kind of God except for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God. He knows that already, but he didn't know that when you come on the scene. Before the foundation of the world, this is how ignorant people are. Before the foundation of the world, he had already written past tense 2 books, one for eternal life and one for the lake of fire. Which book are you in? Which book are you in? And if you think you got yourself put in there, you's a lie from not only the lake of fire, but the hand of Satan's that's leading you there. You's a liar to it. You know why? Because you're running around here hooking on to these men, trying to make them kings, leaders, and rulers. Yah made Saul, built him up just to do what? Boom, bring him down. Hey, Deborah, I got a ram in the bush. Who is that? David, pull up. David, pull up. Because I said, wait a minute, you told Saul to do something, and he did something different. Was that a reason to bring him down? No, Deborah, it's a reason for me. Because I knew who seed he really were all the time. I just put him in there to the time being till I pulled David on in there. But Saul was the seed of the serpent all the time. So when you're running around here trying to make these men pastors, leaders, and bishops, and and priests and king and leaders and rulers and, or I'm a man. If any time a man got to make a man, then what did y'all make? What did y'all created him to be? Is that why the homosexuals having problems with their identity? It's because men are having problems with theirs? Don't that kind of match? Because if you trying to prove that you are a man, something wrong with you. And if you need to prove it to a woman that you are a man, you sick. A man is born a man. Get up and take your righteous position as a man. Why is it that you have to belittle, degrade, and bring woman to the lowest term just so you can rise up to the highest? This Dowell man, since the time I've been on here, I haven't been on here long, you guys. When I got on YouTube almost 5.5 months ago, and when I ran up on Dowell's, I said, dang, that's a loudmouth man. Look at his big old ugly mouth. He's a loudmouth man. That's the first thing I said. Never did deal with him. But you know how you get on YouTube and all of a sudden you hear, I have never in my life hear this man say anything positive regarding woman. Nothing. And you will never, ever, ever, ever go into the instructions and direction book and see anyone degrading women like he does. Like he does. But all the men loved him. They detached themselves to him. Oh, he's saying something we want to hear. Well, what is he saying? So if you did a great one, you think you're going to move higher? No, you ain't. You're going to go lower where you belong. Why? And you're going to fall. All of these men that ran behind and boast and boost and shine the leaves and the fruit of Dowell, the Father sent a message to you. Dowell is at the door, but you're going to be behind him. He said, you for many years have you followed him, uplifted him, and boosted him to where he's at. That's what's wrong with, that ain't the wrong, that's not why he's like he is. He's like that from heaven, y'all. He ain't like that from the earth. He like that from the kingdom, okay? So, but you in bed shows that you too follow the broad gate where he resides. It is so many of these men that stood on him to try to get to where they felt they was going to achieve a position in y'all. They used this man. They used Dowell to get something because they felt he was a God and he's going to get us this, land, food. He's going to give us this. He's going to let us have many wives. Oh, he teaching that thing. Did y'all know that this man never got involved with many of wives? It was just a desire of his. He knew it's not right. He always knew it was wrong. But anytime Judith, melanated, I say brown-skinned men, hear men say something, they just jump on it. They don't even check to see, wait a minute, is it righteous or is it unrighteous? And when if they had the spirit, which is the word, see, it's a difference between, this is how ignorant they are. It's a difference between the words in this book and the word. Why you say that, Deborah? Because see, everything the Father does, he does in twos. Satan is fully aware of it because he said it in Genesis. Genesis 3:15. He told Satan. He told Satan. He told Satan. Then I said to the Father, hold up. How is it you told and you addressed Satan and man didn't get it? He said, Deborah, go back to Genesis chapter 1. Everything I called, the order I called in the perfect will of my word, not words, of my word was perfect. Everything I did, I looked at it and I said, ooh, it's good. Only thing I said, it is not good when I saw man in that garden there by himself. But Deborah, when you read Genesis 1 straight through, I'm calling it out. I gave both of them my image, like unto me, which is a spirit. Thou have taught all these men that only men has the Spirit of God. And they believed. He has crossed out so many things that Yah has said on the right hand, and he made it something different on the left. And the brown-skinned men have followed him to and fro for many years. They even they went even greater toward him once he decided to polygamy, to tell them they are men that can have as many wives or as they please. It is not of Yah. That's why he has started attacking the year from say about a year and a half. He started attacking the New Testament. See, he didn't have a problem with the New Testament until he realized that he has to curse the New Testament to continue to do what he's doing. He did an excellent job to all those men. He cursed the New Testament, poured up in the Old Testament, and tried to do the things in Abraham's, but Jacob, Solomon, do what they did in their flesh. He was mimicking man in the flesh. And just imagine all these men, these brown-skinned men, took on the flesh of men and mimicked their flesh. So the Father said, why ain't they pulling up in Abraham's spirit? Why ain't they pulling up in Isaac's spirit, Deborah? Why ain't they pulling up in Jacob's spirit? How about this? Why ain't they pulling up in David's spirit? Why don't they mimic that? Oh, no. Pastor Dowell told them that you, Father, okayed it to the point where even you got more than one wife. Oh, who lines the Creator up with flesh? Who lines the Creator up with flesh? Anytime the Most High is using words, female, you notice he called Israel daughter, woman, bride. Do that mean you a homosexual? Come on now. Meet him where he at. Yah is righteous. Meet him there. How about that? No, you can't meet him there. You so busy trying to put him and line him like flesh and blood. And this sister is called for Judah, the house of Judah. And I ain't going for it. And I didn't go for it. But I sat back and watched when the Father said, Deborah, all your puzzle pieces is completed. I said, oh, no, Father, come on, give me another piece. Is another piece missing? No, Deborah. It's completed. The puzzle piece is completed. And you have beat the game. And I thank the Father for that. Just letting me know you done beat the game. There's a game in Deuteronomy 28. It's called the end game. You would never hear a brother, a king, leader, priest, bishops, watchman, seer, pastor. You will never teach it. You will never hear them teach the people the end game to Deuteronomy 28. Y'all told me I beat the game. I feel good. I feel good. See, when you get into Deuteronomy 28, you all poured out a few words. Dowell did it. Not only Dowell, but all of them that call themselves in a new awakening, or we the people, or a newfound religion, Hebrew Israelite movement, you know, all of that sort of stuff. You all chasing your tails. That's between your legs. Just imagine what that looked like. Chasing your tail. That's caught between your legs and you going in a circle trying to find out where it's at. It's between your legs. That's how gone you are in Deuteronomy 28. That's the end game. The end game that the Father has orchestrated from the kingdom was a game at the end of Deuteronomy 28, which would have been the 400 years, which I am fully aware that it's past 400 years, and it's all right with me because there was an end game that you were supposed to get within the 400 years. Say, for instance, you got it right at 39.9 years. You still were to get the end game. And if you didn't win the end game, you still stuck on stupid, trying to play the game that these men have y'all planned, because you all have did exactly what got you put out of the promised land. You know, one of the number one things that got you put out of the promised land is the same thing Dowell is doing now, acting like a god to these men. And he did not. He don't have no problem with it, because men has made him so successful. And the Father want me to let you know, every apple and leaves that's on Dowell's tree, it's going to sink like the Titanic. You're going down with him. And he wants you to understand that not only is the tree going to wither, the roots have already started. And the door that Dowell is at, so shall Geno Jennings follow behind him. Why? Because these men are teaching men. They is so engraved in. See, what the men didn't know is this. Y'all was trusting you with a lot. And I'm going to tell y'all something, men. I was looking at that. I said, Father, they got a lot. He said, yes, I charged him a lot. Y'all been charging you all to do a lot of things, and y'all missed it. One was to bring up your children. He said, train up your children in the way that they should go. Men, these are your children. Those are not the women children. The Father wants you to know the children was in your womb waiting. You men, those were your children. And if you think the 1 minute that you're going to get to the kingdom and he going to say, well done, no. You have forsaken the greatest gift, one of the greatest gifts that Yah has given you, which are seeds. Many parables the Father set as the parable of the seed. And you've forsaken one of the main gifts you could have. No gift on the earth is going to outride the seeds that are within a man. That's another life. It's another life that's coming through that seed. So when he say train them up, he didn't say, woman, you train those kids up. No, because why? Because those seeds come out of the man. Hey, man, train your seeds up in the way. Only one way. It's only one way. It's only one way. The way of righteousness. Because I asked him, I said, what if they don't, wait a minute, Father, how can he train them? He said, well, Deborah, I don't want them to train them up like their mama trained them or their daddy trained them. So when they run around here talking about I didn't have a father, no. Righteous outweigh a mother. Righteous outweigh a father. So all this trash about what I didn't have, what do you have? He said, I will be a father to the fatherless. I will be a mother to the motherless. So don't stand on the ground of what you didn't have. What you got to have is, wait a minute, he gave me life. Let me see what I'm going to do with this. All these children running around here all over the world, the whole Judah, forsaking all their seeds all over the place and running now up under a man that makes them feel like they got Yah in the midst of them. You tell me, is that sick? Dolls have had many men leaving families, y'all. Men have left their whole family talking about getting a woman submissive. Let me tell you something. The first and foremost you got to get submissive is yourself. See, you got two parts to yourself. You got flesh and you got spirit. Okay? You got to get that flesh under the subjection of your spirit, because your spirit knows what's righteous. Your flesh don't. So why run to a man, which is flesh, and think that you're going to get your spirit under the subjection to your flesh through another flesh? Can't be done. A woman is never to submit to no man until a man has submitted to his own spirit. Why is that, Deborah? Because his spirit is what's righteous, not his flesh. Any woman marry a man that not submitted to his own spirit, and his spirit is leading and guiding in him in the face of Yah, you better not submit to him. Who calls a woman to submit to a man's flesh? Flesh is already doomed. Flesh is already assigned. So who calls a woman to submit to a man? Why would y'all want a woman to submit to a man when a man has not even submitted to himself? Because he thinks his self is his flesh. No, your self is your spirit, that thing to live forever. That's your spirit. Just imagine your spirit here and your flesh is here. And your flesh is ruling your spirit. That's strictly lake of fire. Strictly. Anytime you live on this earth and your flesh has dominion over your spirit, your destiny and your ticket is assigned to the lake of fire. You get it? But when you get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit will tell your flesh, now you got some other spirits in you. Those are your children. So you need to let me rule. Only place the Father comes is in that spirit. He ain't coming to your flesh. Oh, I know. Dowell didn't teach you that. Because he wanted you to think that life is about being a king, leader, and a ruler over the flesh. Wait a minute. Do they know what the flesh is? Never want to rule and have no woman in the flesh submit to you. Even that woman that submit to you, she's only submitting her flesh. You don't want a woman that's submitting her flesh. I know, Dowell made you feel it's good to have you a virgin, have you many wives. That's flesh. That's flesh. That's flesh. That's when you know every man that followed him with this polygamy, they followed the flesh. He said a man is either born of the flesh or he's born of the spirit. That means if you live the ways of the flesh, the pleasures and the order of the flesh of David, Solomon, Abraham, Jacob, then you're going to die as one born of the flesh, because you had no idea that all of those that I called were seeds of the spirit, and they served the Father in spirit and in truth with the light in their right hand. You men's running around here following men, just like the homosexual men following men. You ain't doing nothing no different. You telling behind another man, calling him God. The man that's telling behind a gay man, telling behind a gay man, that's about right. Both of you leading to hell. But a man who thinks he's going to heaven, falling behind the tail of another man flesh, you going to hell with him. How about that? How you like me now? You're going straight to hell with him. When he said, train up your children in the way that they should go. You know what he told me? Stand down, Deborah. I had to stand down. I had to stand all the way down. And I ain't had no problem. I said, talk to me, Father. He said, you got to stand down. I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to him. He said, now read it again. Wait a minute, now hold up. Now this making sense. When he told me to read it again, I said, yeah, now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me to train up a child is not the way you want to train them, not the way your mama trained them, not the way granny and grandpa, not the way your mother trained them. No. Only one way that he's talking about: righteousness. I said, but what if they didn't come up in righteousness? They can't train no child. See, there ain't no such thing as a woman can only train a daughter and a man can only train a son. Let me tell you something. If that's the case, why is it the tribe of Judah got 80% of their men in the closet and out of the closet and under the bed? You didn't know that, did you? But the spirit of the Ruach revealed it unto me. Such a great number of our melanated, our brown-skinned men have dumped, women too, have dumped in and out of this homosexual lifestyle, even with their own thoughts and their own desires. So when he's saying train up a child, he's telling women, you stand down. Now, I'm talking to men. What he mean is, women, by righteous, I'm calling the men. Why? Because these are his seeds. But what they do, they left their seeds with woman. So that's why when you pull up in Isaiah chapter 3, he said that the woman would rule over the children. Now, why is the women ruling over the children that's disobeying the parents? Because the father who has dominion really over his own seed, has left his seed with that woman. That's not the will of the Father. He wants me to let you know, stand before his throne and think you're going to get away with it and it ain't going to be brought to you. Because it is. I know. Dowell didn't teach you that, did he? Gino don't teach you that either, do they? They don't. These men that's got all these power punches, T.D. Jakes. Oh, I believe T.D. Jakes will say something. I'm just showing you the level of the mindset of Judah, especially when he think he Judah and he know he Judah. He really on the deep end. He's following the sin of David, the Abraham, Jacob, the sin of their flesh, the desire of their flesh. None of these men wives had peace in the house. None of them. Chaotic, fighting, all kind of stuff going on. But this is the will of the Father, that men just have women there to do just that. I want to show you something in Genesis 1 that 99.9 of the brown skinned men have not and never knew. The Father want me to take you to Genesis 1 where you messed up from the floor up. He said, if you miss Genesis 1 and 2, you'd have missed the whole book. And what he mean is this is a study guide. This book is a study guide. Let me say it again. This book is a study guide. Not now one of y'all tells out there can tell me that this book is the word. This book can't be the word because the word was before this book. The word is after this book. The word is Yah himself in power and in spirit. So therefore, this book, if it was Yah, take this book and see if this book can heal you. Since it's the word. See if this book can deliver you from drugs and alcohol, since it is the word. This book is words, and Yah is the word who comes and lives in you and teach you what these words is saying. That's why he said you just study enough to show yourself, but you stop. Study enough to show yourself, and you stop and tarry for me, and I'll come and give you the word. Oh, no, they don't want the word. They want the words. Dowell's use and beat y'all doing tails up with this book and many of them. Oh, it's what did the book says? What did the Bible? That's why they can escape it for so many years. That's why T.D. Jakes have been able to manipulate the multitude, and Joel Osteen, who don't even use the book but speak, and who else? And Dowell. Oh, what did the book say? What did the book say? The weakest link that I, as a prophetess in the wilderness, has been shown is the brown-skinned men. Weakest link on the earth. They can't see that the Father in the heavens has called you under his holy name, and you still can't see. But he got a plan for you. He got a plan for you. But the plan is for the world to see what he's going to do with you. That's his plan. But in Deuteronomy 28, you're going to be destroyed. See, now that one of y'all allowed the men to teach you, Dowell and all the other so-called Hebrew Israelite awakening, they didn't teach you how to beat that game, did they? See, Deuteronomy 28 is an end game. They didn't teach you how to beat it, did they? Now one of you know about the end game of Deuteronomy 28 until you are destroyed. That's the end game. What do you mean, sister? You got to be destroyed in this flesh, in this mental state of mind that you have so weak in your mind to believe that a man can be your God over the true creator. You have allowed these men to lead and guide you. And here this, I'm going to show you where you know it's sick. You had Kanye and Kyrie. All the Hebrew Israelite men went running after them. Oh, they men of Yah. You see, they don't know they left from their right. They don't know one side of the hand from the other. Any man say anything, these brown-skinned men go taking after them. Oh, those are our people. They telling us the truth that they are of Yah. They put anybody above Yah that ain't even of Yah. They call everybody somebody Yah is sending. And this is what lead me to understand. Father, you said it. It is over. It's finished. And they are destroyed. mentally, spiritually, Judah is destroyed. That's the end game. That's the end game. And I salute that bad boy. All day long do I salute it, because I understand it, Father, y'all. I understand it. I understand it in its fullness. The end game of Deuteronomy 28, which is a game. You got to be able to beat it in the spiritual realm, in spirit and in truth. But you got to have the light in the right hand. See, these men ain't going to teach you this, but they're going to teach you can have many wives. Or the book said you can have many wives. It said it, they did it back then. And the Father in heaven said, let them alone, Deborah. Let them go. Let them go and do it. Let them go and do what they got. You know, I didn't already nailed them from the beginning to the end. He said, I sat and I told when he was in Genesis 3 and he stood there and told Satan. Let's go there. Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. Now, I look at this, y'all, I look at it different. I'm taught from the wilderness. I'm not taught from the level of the bosom of a flesh of a man, nor a flesh of a woman. I'm taught by the Ruach himself. He takes me to Genesis in chapter 3 and 15. And I said, wait a minute, hold up. You mean you coach Satan? You coach the serpent in it? He said, yeah. He know it already too. I said, but Father, these people don't know that. That's on them. They want to know this Passover here. They want to go follow this one, but they don't want spirit and truth. They don't want the light, Deborah. They were supposed to be the light to the world. They the opposite. Look what they doing. Look what they've been doing. Look what they keep doing. And they rather follow a man than to follow me. Now listen to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. It reads, and I will put enmity between thee. Wait a minute. Hold on, Father, y'all. Who you talking to? Deborah, I'm talking to the serpent. You know that Satan. You telling him you gonna do this? You mean you told Satan you gonna do this? And you mean man is living on the earth and not aware of it? They don't know nothing about what you done told Satan. He said, no. Because they made their own belief. They took the words and made it me. They don't understand this book is the words that they are to study. But they supposed to tarry for me. I am the word. You can't understand this book by precept and line and a little here. That's for those who constantly going to and fro, chasing their tail that's stuck between their legs. And that's as far as they go. Chasing, going in circles, trying to find a good message on the YouTube, trying to get under the good pastor, trying to get under a good leader. Oh, I want a king. I want a leader. I want somebody, the Lion of Judah. Set your tail down. Jacob told your tails. Judith, man of Judith. Jacob told your butt that you wasn't going to mount up to nothing. Why are you leading these men that you are a God, Dowell? And they are supposed to follow you, your flesh. And they decided to. They even gave up their wives and their families. But when they stand before the kingdom, the Father said he's going to ask you. Even the men who left one child, 2, 3. He said they looking at talents in the wrong order, Deborah. The first one I gave them was seeds. In their womb, Deborah, did I give it unto them. And I told them, Deborah, to train them up in righteousness. That's the way to train. That's what he means when he's to train them up in the way they should go. Meaning, in what way is that, Father? What way should they train them? Which way? Which way? Righteousness. That's the only way. Only one way. But what did they do? They went out the door to the next town, had 3 more kids, went over here, had 4 more kids, and now they never seen, never took care, never did anything. But you're going to stand before the throne, and he going to check you on it. How about that? You think, see, people thinking they said, well, okay, sister, these people thinking they going to cross a bridge. Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Baby, let me tell you something. It ain't going to be a bridge for you to cross. I know you didn't know it. I learned that in the wilderness. There's not going to be a bridge for you to cross. Heaven's got you already where you belong. Revelation chapter 20. Deborah, I told him I got 2 books. I started with 2 books. He said they so ignorant, they don't even know that if I thought everybody was coming to the book of life, why did I put 2 trees there? Deborah, nobody, Satan didn't put them trees there. I put those 2 trees there. Why? Because I know I got 2 books up in heaven. I know I created 2 gates. One is a narrow and one is a broad. I created the ways. I did this before the foundation of the world. What are they talking about? Let them follow their God, their men. You can't be kings, men of Judah. You can't be leaders and rulers as you want to create your new definition of who you are. You ain't following no righteous. You ain't following no upright, no just. But yet you're going to follow man and he's going to be your way. Your daddy wasn't there. He didn't show you the way. But you're going to follow the flesh of a man and think he's going to show you the way. Don't even follow a flesh of a woman thinking she knows the way. You follow the rock of the Most High, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Between 3, I woke up. 4, I woke up. 5, I woke up. And I'm like, what's the deal? But I already knew it. That first time I woke up at 3 a.m., I mean, normally I can speak in the spirit. Y'all said, no, it's time for you to hear what you're saying unto me. And I'm asleep, but I'm woke. Hallelujah. I'm asleep, but I'm woke. And I can hear myself speaking to the Most High, y'all. And you know what I was saying, y'all? Praises, glorifying him. What is it? Not edifying him. Just glory and magnifying. That's the word I'm using. And I'm asleep. I loved it. 4 o'clock come. Same thing, Joe. It's 4 o'clock. There it is again. I'm just telling him how awesome he is, how great and how excellent, how wonderful. Oh, your power. I'm talking to him. I'm dead asleep. But I knew I'm speaking. 5 o'clock comes. I'm saying, wait a minute. And at 5 o'clock, I knew it was 3 times that I had woke up. I knew it. When I got up this morning, I said, okay, Father, yeah, I like that. I loved it. Because it gave me time. What it was doing. Tell me, do any of y'all know what was going on? I know what was going on. He shut that flesh down. He began to speak to my spirit. It was spirit upon his spirit, speaking in the midnight hours. Speaking to him in the midnight hours. That's why my flesh was still asleep. I like that. Stand down, flesh. It's time to rumble in the spirit. Praise the mighty God. About time I woke up, said, okay, it's time for me to clean up all the stuff I messed up. I go into the kitchen and start washing dishes at 9 o'clock. And all of a sudden, the spirit of the Most High said, now you can address the situation. We finna rumble. Genesis 1, verse 27. The Father says this is what they missed. They missed this a long time ago. And because they are willing to follow the tail of a man than the spirit of the creator. He said, when he told me this, it kind of felt sad. I did. I ain't gonna sit and lie to you. I felt sad for the Most High y'all. I felt sad for him. But then I thought about what he said in Ezekiel. He said, Deborah, I had pity for my holy name. And I really cried that day when he said that. Because when I read it, and I said, oh no, it just does something to me. And at that time, the spirit said, yes, Deborah. The spirit in me said, yes, I truly had pity for my holy name. And I just went into repentance and saying that I'm sorry. But then he brought comfort and said, it's all well. Because I knew it, Deborah, before the foundation of the world. I knew it from A to Z. But I still had pity on my holy name. And that means even me in the flesh, I can still feel sad and cry because of the way we have treated this unseen Yah, but yet one that believes in one that is unseen. That's me. I believe him because he proven himself to me. Nobody can go over a cliff that I don't know how many feet down and land on a solid rock. Nobody can go to the throne of the Father and say, Father, I need you. Pull this thing up. Pull this thing up. I'm about to cut up. About time I woke up that next morning, Father had went on the scene and settled the whole issue. The whole issue. He shut that life down. Don't tamper with those that he has sent to work on his behalf. If he don't in the breath, don't you go near them. Don't go trying to come after those that you don't know nothing about. Because one thing, these Negro, I'm going to call them Negroes today as well. These melanated or these brown-skinned men and women don't understand is there's many turmoil and evil and wicked that's out here amongst our people. And we refuse and reject to tackle these issues. These men are teaching these men to hate their own women, the one that brought them forth. Then when these men get into the scripture, they won't find nothing these men are saying. Nothing! I'm sitting here saying, Father, wait a minute, hold up, Father. You telling, I hear you all up in here telling the children how they supposed to listen to the Father, to the Father, to the Father, to the Father. What is the Father done left? He said, that's what I'm telling you. You done read it. I done brought you the Ruach, which is himself. And I done taught you. They had a charge on their lives as men. They had a purpose and a mission when they come to this earth as a baby, as a male. It was already in them. What the Romans chapter 1 said, I put them in there. Listen to this. In Romans chapter 1, you all, this is a sad thing because I wasn't planning on going this route. But just sitting here saying this. Now listen to this. And this is one thing that a lot of these men don't understand, the power of the charge of a man from the heavens when he created him. He says in Romans chapter 1, verse 18, in Romans chapter 1, verse 18, this is what he says. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodly and unrighteous males who holds the truth in unrighteousness. Verse 19, because that which may be known of Yah was manifested in them, for Yah has shown it to them from the beginning. See, they came here with it. And they they shown up which seed they are quickly. You see? But it does not take away the charge a man comes down here with from Yah, and that's to be a man. That's like a child who don't know how to use the bathroom. Eventually, they'll get it. A child who don't know, a baby comes to the earth, be born, and they go to the mother's breast milk. Instant, that child take on to it. That's the whole living. You learn it as you go on. So you don't need another man to teach you how to be a king, leader, and ruler. It's something you have to be born like I am. Non-tolerant, born that way. Ain't nobody done nothing to me. I'm just non-tolerant to nonsense. Born that way. When you able to really understand that heaven has orchestrated the beginning to the end, as some might say, A to Z and everything in between. I don't know what y'all thinking y'all battling on this earth and ruling. Jacob sat and said in Genesis 49, he said, Judah is going to be like a young lion to an old lion crouched down. Who can awaken him? Who said that? A man died. Jacob. He said that about Judah. See, they ain't going to teach y'all that. What Sister Deborah said, follow spirit and truth with the light and not the flesh of men and women. Find your way, first and foremost, by tarrying for the ruach of Yah. It could be in you, but it's not activated because you're following some man. You're following some woman. We ain't the key, y'all. We ain't the way. We are servants in the body. We're here to serve in the body. Then you got those who are the serpent seed serving outside of the body, but calling themselves the body, calling themselves the church. It's impossible for Dowell to be out in the woods building. That's not the fruit, people. How can a man mislead you that what he's doing is the fruit? When did a building become the fruit? When did things become the fruit. This man wore these men out all on these devil platforms talking about where's your works? Where's your work? How can anybody follow him? Works is not in your hands. The greater work is in your spirit. Oh no, he wins them over with materialistic things. He showed the world and those who following him around with their tail between their legs. That's why they going in circle. You have one named Corey. Is that his name? He just a sorry, sick puppy because no spirit called him. I'm sorry to tell you that, bro. You ain't been called by the rock, not the real rock of the Most High God. Sorry to tell you that, but I ain't sorry because this sister was given the spirit of discernment. You ain't got it, bro. You all are following Dowell like he's like sorry, sick puppies following the flesh of a man. Do you know where the flesh is assigned to? Do anybody know where the flesh is assigned to? The grave, 6 foot under. And guess where it go from there? The Father said, Deborah, go back to Revelation chapter 20. He said, I'm going to take that grave and put it also. Hallelujah. Revelation chapter 20 in the lake of fire. Praise the mighty Yah. He said he's going to take that. He's going to take the grave and put it in the lake of fire. Whenever the earth and the sun and the earth in Revelation flee, took off running when they know the days of Yah. Took off running, getting out the way. Because Yah's on the scene, he coming. And here we are as flesh time. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. When Yah want me to let you know, you ain't going to have no bridge to cross. Because there's never been a bridge. You've been listening to too much flesh of a man. Every tree that is planted to deceive and manipulate the flesh of men and women, males and females, is not of Yah. These are people who planted seeds and got you believing that they are called upon and anointed. No, they ain't. Because the first thing they got to give you is Yah himself. But they got to have had it themselves. Not your flesh, not your wife, not your husband, not your children, but Yah himself. Men never want a woman submit under you if you have never submitted to your own spirit. Because you're supposed to get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit. And if your flesh is not under the subjection to your spirit, who told you that woman should be submissive under your flesh? You are to be submissive you should be submissive under your spirit. She's supposed to be submissive under her spirit. You come together and both of you come up under the Ruach together as one. Woman, now you put man above you to the utmost. That's how he become what Sarah looked at Abraham. Sarah saw it. Sarah felt it. She didn't have no reason not to say, Lord. Praise the mighty Yah. She saw Abraham walking under the will of the Father, submitting his spirit up under the spirit of Yah. That's how it should be. I was just going over, what was that? I have to find out what I did with my 1 Corinthians, I believe it was. I go back to it. No, yeah, I go back to it. I get that at the end. But where the Father was telling men to deal with the woman as the weaker link, the weaker vessel, the weaker vessel. But he went to tell the men that the woman first has to have Yah first and foremost. See, that's what the men didn't do. They don't want the women to have Yah first. They want them to have them submit to me. And I have not even submitted to my own spirit, nor have I submitted myself under the ruach of the Most High Yah. But I want you to submit to me, because in the book, it says in the book, you all are foolish men. Foolish. Whenever you wake up, you're not going to. You're still chasing your tail that's stuck between your legs, believing everything this flesh of men are teaching you. Same thing with women. Don't listen to these women that's teaching you to serve them, to follow them, like it's to strive them, go their way. No, that's not the way to righteous. Only one way to righteous, and that is to the Most High Yah. Now, the sad part, 99.9 of the brown-skinned men nor women have defeated the end game. Deuteronomy 28 is an end game. And you haven't heard one on this devil platform preach that thing, teach that thing. You know why? They too far away from it. It's called spirit and truth. They don't know nothing about the end game of Deuteronomy 28. They don't know why y'all got on here until they are destroyed, until they are destroyed, until they are destroyed, until they are destroyed. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father, y'all. What was them men doing up on them trees hanging? You didn't come get them. You didn't stop them. See, that's what y'all don't understand. Deborah, until they are destroyed. See, y'all don't understand. That was the end game y'all missed. Because these men so busy trying to teach y'all polygamy, how many wives, how many virgins to get. Baby, let me tell you something. No matter what you get, that is a virgin. What are you going after? The flesh? Because if you're going after the mind that carries the spirit, let me tell you something. You ain't getting nothing. Because never was the pleasure found in a virgin. You have to have this right before you can have that right. This control that. You see? But when man chases after a virgin, he chasing after the flesh. And he says to himself, I got something. Mentally disturbed. Judith is gone. Destroyed. Because they don't have the sense. They don't have the sense. This is why you see all these pedophiles. This is why in the year 2024, you see them messing with men, messing with their little bitty 2-month-old, their 3-day-old baby, and their 2-year-old. Why? Because this is gone. This is gone. Because they are messing with the flesh. Not knowing that only wicked and evil is there. It's nothing there, sir. It's not a feeling there. There's nothing about that should turn you in or turn you out. Judah is gone. You're destroyed. Deuteronomy 28 end game. Have you won it? No, you haven't. The Father says, Deborah, you done beat the game. Praise the mighty Yah. You got to know how to beat the end game of Deuteronomy 28. And you beat it with your spirit. Because you salute the will of the Father and his purpose and his reason and his way. He began to pour out everything. And that's why y'all see it here. You ain't seen nothing yet. I heard a young man call me this morning, said, did you hear about the movie that's coming out Wednesday? I said, what movie is that? He say, the Civil War or Civil War, baby. No. I don't need a movie tell me that. I already feel and seen and behold the Revelation 18 verse 3. When the migrants got over, not today, not yesterday, but when they start pouring in, I said, Father, that's the migrants, ain't it? That's the immigrants, isn't it? That's them there, but they pulling on in. They pulling on in. Your worstest enemy outside of yourself is pulling on in for you. And you're running around here want to follow the flesh of a man, the flesh of a woman, want to get on this devil platform and play like it's the church, it's the body of Hamashiach. This devil platform cannot be the body of Hamashiach. How about trying to get the ruach in you or activated if it's already in you so you'll understand the body of Hamashiach? Because if you're outside that body, which pretty many of you are outside, That's why you're lost with a cause and without one, following these men, listening to what they say regarding wives and husbands. You know what? The beauty of it all, let me tell y'all, the beauty of it all is being just with somebody that you really care about. Okay? You really care and they care about you. Meaning each one of you going to be able to help one another. Love on them, as you know the word love. Give and gave one another. Understanding one another. And y'all being the head, being the centerpiece of the table. So the children can see, truly my Father is the head. He seeketh the Father in the kingdom. We see him magnifying the God that they cannot see. These men ain't doing nothing like that. They doing so busy role playing, so busy trying to stick up under Dowell and be what he have, and be what he is and get what he get and have what he have, to where they have lost their way. And the Father wants you to know, every last one of you who've been following him, who's been tagging on him, boosting, putting him on a pedestal, you're all going to fall down as one. He's already gone. It's just out of the question. His roots, the root in the ground is dead, said the Most High Yah. The apple's going to fall down, and guess what? They're going to rot. But the Father said this was bothered me more than anything. He said, even the apples that fall from the tree is just as worse as the tree. And those men who shine the leaves on that tree by boasting and telling people that, oh, Pastor Dowell is, and Pastor Dowell is, and polygamy is, y'all said you are in line as well. So you all can start lining up behind Jenny's, because he's coming behind Pastor Dowell. Okay. So you can start lining up behind him, because you all are all apples that fell from these trees, never taking the tree of righteousness, never reaching for the tree of life. And what does it say? And eat. Why? Because when you eat it, you digest it. He said, now take of the tree of life and eat. Because once you eat it, you digest it. No, you over here in the flesh of man, letting him tell you how you're supposed to be a man, as if you wasn't born a man. And when you get a bunch of men that's like that, let me tell you something. They're going to draw the energy from one another and boasting and boosting themselves to be something they are not. Because it don't take all that, y'all. If Pastor Dowell would have, and from what the Father showed me was Saul, and that was when he was saying that how he put Saul there. He also built Pharaoh up just to what? Bring him down. See, y'all don't know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with that right hand and that stretched out arm. You don't know what you're messing with. You don't know about who you coming up on when you're dealing with the Most High Yah. You don't even know nothing about his right hand and his stretched out arm. That ain't no play. You know that right hand and that stretched out arm? 99.9 don't even know who that is. When you're going to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, when he said, let us, he was talking to his power. Let us throw down, oh man. They missed it. They all missed it. They also missed that the right hand and the stretched out arm of the Most High Yah is his power. It works hand in hand with his word. His power ain't going nowhere that his word will back it up. His word ain't going nowhere where his power will back it up. So he says to the Son of Man, sit here on my right hand till I make that earth your footstool. With what? His word and his power work hand in hand. Who is that word and that power? He said, Deborah, if they missed Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, they didn't miss the whole book. I said, Father, I'm your living witness. I'm the living witness and not a dead prophet. I'm a living one. They have missed it. All these thousands of years, no one knew that there were two in one. The Son of Man born of a woman and the Son of Yah which was the word and the power that came down with the Son of Man. They didn't know it. Judah talking about awakening. You ain't awakened to nothing. Jacob said you wouldn't. Jacob says you ain't gonna awaken to nothing until Shiloh, which is the Son of Man, come. You ain't awakened to nothing but stupidity and ignorance. That's all you have awakened to. Foolishness in the unrighteous realm. See, what kind of bothered me, I said, but Father, wait a minute, hold up. You telling the serpent, which is Satan, you mean you told him that you got 2 seeds? Yeah, Deborah. How do Satan know it and they don't? It's confusing to this sister. He said they ain't going to know it because they desire a creator that they could see so they can believe. I've been talking all this time. They never knew who Christ was. Christ is my power, my right hand. He said they won't even look it up and see the right hand or the power and see it in there hundreds of times because they don't know who it is. That's Christ, Deborah, that came down with the Son of Man to help him the whole mission so he can be able to stand. He said he didn't just come down with words. Deborah, tell them. Son of Man didn't come down here with just word. He came down with power. Why? Because power back up the word and the word back up the power. That's why this book can't be it. It's the words that you're to study until the Ruach comes like it came to the Son of Man on the right hand. Sit here until I make that earth your footstool. How you going to do that? With my power, my stretched out arm, and my word. See, the word is that which is spoken out of the Father. And when it's spoken out of the Father, the power backs it up. So that's what he was talking to in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Come on here, power. Let us make man. Power pulled up and said, when are you ready? You ready? Let me know when you're ready. Let us make man. Power said, come on now, let's pull up. That was the right hand and the stretched out arm of the Father, the Creator himself, that he was speaking to, his own power. That same power came down to assist the Son of Man born in the flesh of a woman. Oh, wow. See, you see how they manipulate you with Genesis 1 and 2. See, one thing y'all should never have done is forsaken Genesis 1 and 2. The Father say when you miss it, you miss the whole thing. Let's go there. I'm going to show you something Dowell and many of these men been teaching and been a liar. Watch this here. In Genesis 1 and chapter 27. So Yah created man in his own image. Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up now. Slow it down. In your image? Yes, Deborah, in my image. In your image? Yes, Deborah, in my image. You mean to tell me it's in your image? Yes, Deborah, it's my image. What is your image? A spirit likened to a light. When I breathe into them, I breathe in, blew out into them my image. His image, he gave you an image like unto his, which is a spirit. That's how you end up with a spirit, not a soul. It was breathed. It came with the breath. Bam, he put it in. So listen to what he says. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. So Yah created man in his own image. Now watch this here. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. Did you create man as male? No, Deborah. Dowell's lied to them men again. And if he can lie to them about the beginning, Deborah, see how they chasing their tails in a circle. And they too are the apples that's going to fall away from the tree, or from the tree, because the tree root is dying out. And when they fall, they ain't going to be no different than he is. Because they sat around him, knowingly, said the Most High Yah, that this man had a wicked and evil heart. And they sat with him. And he said many of these guys on these platforms supported him, boasted and boosted him up because he was saying something that triggered their itchy ears and their desire of their fleshly heart. Not understanding this man never said a word since he been on here positive about a woman. I've been on here 5.5 years. Not one thing. And not one man caught him. Not one. Not one. It reminds me of Noah. I said, Father, why y'all, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all, hold up. You in the world? You mean you gonna end this world and not one gonna come up? Not one, Deborah. That's how wicked they are, Deborah. I'd rather pull in, hey, Noah, get them animals on in there, 2 by 2. Get them on in the ark. When you finish, get them on in. Noah, I know Noah had to be, wait a minute. Let me go down here and talk to these people. Come back. Years, come back. You mean out of all that time, not one entered into the ark? Why? See there? Y'all thought y'all had it going on, didn't you? So if you're thinking in this day and time, the 400 years is meaning you're going to walk out of here and end up somewhere in holiness, they lying to you again. And I'm going to show you in Romans where y'all said, I'm not playing with nan one of them. He said, Deborah, I put it in them to know right and wrong, to the point where they knew right. They knew truth, but they did the opposite of what truth stood for. That's what most of these guys do. And they support Dowell because he's telling them you can have many wives as you want. Oh, you're a king, you're a ruler and a leader. When Dowell saw it was pressing on, it was good, and the ears of the men was yearning for it, he continued it to the point where he degraded women so bad. So y'all checking him in. He gonna check him out. You see, because a lot of these men don't understand that this is not the will of the Father in the kingdom. And I'm finna show you that. Let's go there. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. You mean you gonna go over here in Genesis 1? Wait a minute, Father, y'all. Can I say something to him? People, let me tell y'all that Genesis 1 is the perfect will. That's the perfect will. No man on the earth can tamper with Genesis 1. How about that? I know the Roman Catholic went in there and smeared a man. Woman was created for man and not man for the woman. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Why? Because y'all said all that I created was for me and my purpose and my will. Not now time did the Most High, who is the Word, said that woman was created for man and not man for woman. So when you get over in Genesis, where he's looked at Adam when he put him in the garden, I said, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. Hold up, what's going on? When your word and your power connected, creating everything, even when it got to the point of saying, let us create man in our image, I said, over here, God the Father, wait a minute, now everything was good. Wait a minute, hold up, Father. You say it was good. What happened? When it wasn't good, when you saw man in the garden by itself. You put him there, I didn't. So why is it now? It's not good. How could everything be good until you put man in the garden by itself? Something going on. Yes, it is. Okay? So listen to this. He said if they miss Genesis 1, they have missed this whole book. And this book is words. You missed it. That means if you could not interpret the only chapter that was upright, just, and righteous, lined up to where even the Roman Catholics said, no, we ain't gonna touch that. We'll touch every word, but we ain't gonna go over here to this. We'll smear this little word, we'll turn this one this way, we'll change this word, but that there, we're not gonna move anything out the way. Why? Because this was the time that where sin didn't have its way. Genesis 1, here we go. In Genesis 1, chapter 1, verse 26. So Yah created man in his own image, and in his image, Yah created. Was this the image of man? Was this the image of woman? No, it was Yah's image. And what is Yah's image? A light, like unto a spirit. He gave every human being, once they received the breath, they received life. Okay? Which is a spirit. Okay, now watch this here. In the image of Yah created him, male and female. Why is it thou have taught these people that only man has the image of Yah? And nobody says nothing. Nobody challenged this man. Nobody says anything. And it's the saddest thing is when I have to see the hand of the right hand power of Yah cause the root of this man to start to wither. Then now you got these other ones that supported him 100% throughout all these years, now having something to say when it's no need you saying nothing. You are the same apple that comes off that tree, that same mindset. I watched Geno Jennings, in a sense, his side assistant pastor. I sat back and watched him. I mean, totally similar to Geno Jennings, even to the point of hitting the table like Geno Jennings. I was like, see that, Father, you are so in righteous. He come out doing the same thing he do, speaking it like him, preaching it like him. So don't estimate these people who's coming out from or distant themselves or saying something negative about Dowell. They are no better either, because the Father saw them support him 100%. It helped him get to where he's at, manipulating and being deceiving to the people and belittling women. Y'all checking that stuff out. Because I said, Father, you ain't gonna do nothing about these brown-skinned men treating. He said, I ain't gonna do nothing. He said, I told them that I will bring the father back to the children and the children back to the father. They too ignorant to understand that the children comes from out of the father. That's including the mothers. A mother used to be inside of a man's sperm. That's why he didn't say bring mothers back to the children, nor the children back to the mothers back to the children, nor the children back to their mother. He said a father, because he knew that every seed that bare life on the earth came from a man. And they too ignorant to realize their responsibility was always to be a man. It don't take a man to tell a man he's a man. It ain't nothing big about being no king, no ruler, no leader. Y'all ain't made you none of that. He put you in captivity. When can somebody be in jail? I work for the prison system. When can you go in the prison system and say, I'm a king, I'm a leader, I'm a ruler? Huh? Come on, somebody talk to me. You don't understand the curse itself. You don't understand Deuteronomy 28. I know they just gave you a few pieces of Deuteronomy 28 and son you on your way in your ignorance, because you want a man that you can see and believe outside of the yard that you cannot see, but yet you believe. Why? Because he's greater in you than he that is in the world. And you can see that. Through the spirit can you see it, and through the spirit can you feel it. So here we go. Listen to this, you guys. So when the Father was telling me about Genesis chapter 1, he sat here and he said, Dowell have taught these men that the spirit of Yah, the image of Yah, is only in men. You know how stupid that sounds, y'all? The image of Yah is a light. It is a spirit. So you're going to tell me women are walking around here with no spirit? But who are they then? Do you know the spirit is the breath, and the breath is the spirit that he blown into each and every last one of us? Only way I know it, because I lost 3 sons. And I was shown the route. When they didn't gain the breath, then they don't have life. It's no such thing as having life without the breath. That means they don't have a spirit. If they can't breathe, they don't have the spirit. Because when he breathed the breath of life, he became a living flesh. Because the spirit had life. That's who carried life. Too ignorant. 2024. Too ignorant. Life is in the spirit of who you are. And in heavens, he got 2 listed. The life that you have, which is your spirit, that holds the breath. Guess what? When he send death for you, death comes, swoop out the breath, and your spirit falls asleep. It don't have the breath. It needs the breath. So it sleeps until the judgment. So while you sitting around here, letting the flesh of man be the leader and the ruler and the king over your life, you go right ahead. Let him rule you. Let him be your king. But when he dies, you died with him. Saul's son died with him, and many of his sons, they died with him. They went down with the ship. Titanic, what happens? They knew they set that up. They knew they did that. That was a plan. But when it went down, everybody went down with the ship. And if the ship went down and you went into the water, it didn't take you long to be gone down for you to die too. That's how Dowell is. His roots are already rotten. Meaning the tree is going to die out. And all the fruit and the leaves, in which every man on his devil platform, they was on there shining his leaves. They didn't even think that let me get a relationship with the Most High Yah one-on-one. No, they didn't do that. Oh, well, he's right. Why? Because he was talking something their flesh desired. Their flesh approved. This man, I ain't never, ever, ever heard him ever say nothing out of his mouth that was righteous. And if any man say that what he taught was righteous, that's because you the apple that's already fallen from the tree. And it's going to be identified in the days to come. Once that tree is fully seen for what it is, that's mean dead, totally dead, then every apple, fruit, not apple, but fruit on that tree and leaves that been shined by every flesh of a man and a woman claiming that that tree was upright, that tree was just. At one time, that tree was this. I'm sure many of them could say that about Saul. But the same creator that built him up brought him down. See, y'all don't get it. So don't sit around here and think this flesh of Dowell has told y'all the truth. He's been lying to you, along with a lot of these brown-skinned men. They've been lying to you. One of the lies is to put women on the back burner. And you know what? I said to the Father, I said, well, Father, if I was a man, then I can speak on a mountain. And I will cut up from the floor. He said, but no, you got that wrong. He had to check me. He said, no, you got that wrong. Righteous speaks for itself. Righteous is not male nor female. Righteous is not black or white. Y'all need to check y'all tails and see where your head is at. Because righteous don't need to be male nor female. So all this mess about, well, okay, only the males can do this and men this and men use full of trash. That's why your tail between your legs and you're constantly running in a circle, trying to find out where your tail is at. And we in the midnight hour. Y'all gonna show you where your tail resides since you've been lost that long. Now, one thing he was saying in Genesis chapter 1, in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 27, he talks about Deborah, I created male and female with my image. Who tells a woman that the spirit, the image of Yah is only in men? Sick men. That's why they cannot divide them. Men has divided male and female. And what does he say? What does he say about doing that? What does he say about doing that? Oh, yeah, y'all going to hear that tonight. What he said about doing that. And I'm going to read it to you. Now listen to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 27. He said, Deborah, when I created man and woman, I created them with my image. And because they never knew what the image was, that's why they running around here with their tails between their legs, calling it a soul. They calling it a soul because they too ignorant to realize he only deals with the flesh and spirit. He that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. He that is born of the spirit is of the spirit. You either the serpent seed or you the spiritual seed. You either the dark side or the light side. You one or the other. You cannot stand around and try to take all of that out and just assume when I'm this side, I'm this and I'm this, cause the king show or the pastor, the deacons, the watchman, the seer. I sit back and listen to some of them, and you know what? It's something about listening to them teach. These that says that they are the Hebrew Israelites in the movement, even these camps, all the ICU, y'all, I sit and listen to them. I said, but Father, they are so far from it. He said, they've been like that. He said, he tells me, he said, you see how you can see it and you on the earth? Well, that's how I see it from heaven. I said, but Father, how did they get so far away from what's true? How did they? He said, Deborah, this is the type of people I've been dealing with. See, I didn't start dealing with these people today. I started dealing with these people back in Genesis. That's how rotten these people are. No matter what way I work for them, they'll go the opposite way. If I say up, they'll go down. If I say light, they'll go dark. He said everything he say, the melanated, the brown-skinned men go the opposite way. And he says okay to say the men because everything, the men never opened the book and studied. He said, Deborah, they run around here precepting and lying and little here, and they never studied the book themselves because the book is not saying even what they're preaching. And that's deep. And it's real, though. It's real. Because I sit back and I can go into a verse and can't even get out of it. I can go in one chapter and one verse and can't get out of it. And I said to the Father, how can I pull out? I poured in easy. What's the problem, Father? I can't pull out. He said the reason why you can't pull out because you see too much light in it. And that is so 100. When you get into the word and the Spirit comes to teach you, you ain't going to just pull out because he's showing you too much light in that one verse. So you don't know how to pull in and pull out. Let's go. In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, right here, he's letting you know, Deborah, I gave a male my image, which is a spirit, and I gave it to a female. But step into it so they can understand how they went out of my way a long time ago. You didn't go out of the way of y'all back in the New Testament or doing Deuteronomy 28 or doing Exodus. You've been out of the way, and you're constantly going that way. And it's all right, because I got an end plan. Okay, now watch this here. Then I get to verse 28. We're in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 28. It says, and Yah bless them. Hold up. You gave them your spirit. You gave them the breath, and it blew in a spirit, in male and female. Father Yah, hold up, Father Yah. It says here in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 28, and Yah blessed them. What's the deal with this them? Man that made it him. How is it them? He said, keep reading, Deborah. And Yah said unto them, wait a minute, hold up, Father Yah. Hold up. Man said you talking to him. Man says him. Man said you only gave him your image. Here it's saying here that wait a minute. And Yah said unto them, who is this them? Oh, that's all the men. That's all the kings and the leader and the ruler. Huh? See how y'all messed up from the floor. You all are messed up from the floor. And you're like snakes that slither in. You better get your tail out of this off this page. Slither your tail up out of here. Because you can't handle this, because this is what you call spirit and truth. So what happens? Here you go. But it says, but fruitful, be fruitful. Wait a minute, are you talking to man or are you talking to woman? Deborah, I'm talking to them. I know that the man made it about them. But I know the man can't do it without her. But he got you all thinking it's about him. He said, be fruitful and multiply. Can a man multiply without a female? But how is it you so ruler? You the king, you the ruler. The Roman Catholic have been in this book up and down. I would never tell a person to turn from the King James Bible or the 1611. I wouldn't tell you to do that. But one thing I will tell you, if you don't have the rock of the Creator living in you with all power, you need to stand your tail down and stop clowning. Get somewhere and sit down. Go and serve Satan. Because we in the midnight hour. And if you don't realize that you don't have the ruach of the Most High Yah, you need to get your tail somewhere and sit down and go on and serve Satan. Okay, now here it is in verse 28. And Yah blessed them, and Yah said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. Can they do that? Now, let me explain to y'all. When he says subdue it, he said, in a sense, he's telling them there was something here once before, and it ended. He's given them the authority, not in authority, the power of what he has built in them to replenish and subdue the earth. Okay, but the one prior, whatever it was prior to it, that's why he's speaking like this, because he knew when all the water and all they dry up, they're gonna find things that was once on the earth. So he just letting you know there was something here before, and it was destroyed. And this is where you see all the darkness. Everything was destroyed, and all you see is water and night and darkness. No, it ain't another world. It ain't another this and another that. That's what happened to the Hebrew Israelite movement. They did turned over to science, Egyptology or whatever, all that mess, and going over in Egypt, talking about the truth. It's all that is over there. Take your tail on over there. Take y'all tails on over there. Now watch this here. And it says, and replenish the earth. We in verse 28, Genesis chapter 1 and verse 28. Replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish, the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over all living things that moved upon the earth. Verse 29, and Yah said, behold, I give you herbs bearing seed, which is, now what is he saying? Everything he's saying to them. Well on the line that women became worser than dogs and human and animals, and became, woo-wee, that's deep. World on, who moved women down that low? Who placed women that low? Men. And that's what the men was marveling over Dowell for, because he was degrading the women so the men can shine. Didn't understand the men already had a shine because they had a work to do as men. They too ignorant to realize if you're born of a man, pull up and be the man that you're created to be. Oh no, I forgot. They didn't have daddy in the house. Oh, I forgot. They need a man to show them how to be a man. You won't find no scripture. Even David, as a child, knew how to get out there and be a man. What's the deal with these men today? Even their fathers of yesterday knew how to be a man. Why? Now they don't know how. And their whole ideal of a man is fleshly. That's what's sad about it. They got this mindset that being a man is something that has to do with your outer appearance and your outer being. You got the women walking around here looking like mop heads tied up and tied down. It don't change who you are in the spirit. That's how ignorant women are. Lotta was saying, silly women. Me got my head tied is not going to interfere with nothing that's greater in me in the spirit. If the Ruach is in me, you think he concerned about my head tied up? When he already told me your flesh don't mean nothing to me, because your flesh, I'm not in. I'm in your spirit. You know that spirit I blew in you? That looks that's like a spirit like I am? That's where I reside. So who told everybody that the flesh is more important to conquer than that which is in the spirit? Y'all ain't told us that, but man has told us that. And we took on it. I sit back and watch in the last 10 years, the Europeans tell us how we're supposed to look and that our people look like this. They feed us pictures and they tell us we're supposed to look like this. And you got our people walking around here with their head look like they just woke up and they heard just all the time, I'm natural. You naturally a fool. That's what you are. You are naturally a fool. You know why you're naturally a fool? Because you never gripped the end game of Deuteronomy 28, which said you're going to be destroyed. Mentally, you are destroyed. Judah, mentally, you are destroyed. Not only mentally, but what it looked like in this midnight hour, he coming for you. in the flesh. He's going to destroy your tail in many ways. And you all are walking around here. And he done told you in Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Jeremiah, I'm coming for the shepherds. I'm coming for them, Deborah. And they won't teach you that. They won't preach that to you. They won't minister that to you. Because they don't want you to know those parts. In Romans chapter 1, he sit here and told you, Deborah, I put it in them. They know truth, but they decide to practice unrighteous in the midst of knowing truth. It's so many things he's saying about men in this instructions and direction book, to where you can read all day and night. You can read from the beginning and to the end, and you ain't gonna see him checking out on no woman the way these men are checking out on women, their own women. And if they're checking out and they're degrading their women, that shows you that Judah is mentally been disturbed and is destroyed. Why? Because they don't understand grandma, granny, great-great-great-granny, paw, daughter, son, they all come from a man's womb. The monsters come from you males. So when you see your nation like it is, understand, these are the monsters that came from the womb of a man. No woman did this to them. Y'all said, I'm going to check them out, Deborah, 3 to 4 generations for the sin of their fathers. Never will you find the sin of the women. This is what Dowell and many of these men did. They degraded women so bad by running to Revelation, now running to Genesis and saying, see, she sinned and she did. Roman Catholics switched that bad boy. Roman Catholics switched that bad boy. And y'all know me. He said, well, Deborah, wait a minute, hold up. Can't nobody answer them questions. I'm going to pull up. I answer your question. I'm going to have to pull up on you. Because these men can't answer those questions. No man, no pastor, no bishop, nobody. They can't answer these questions. I pulled up on the father. Said, well, now hold up. I see something here. He said, what you see? What you see? I said, well, I don't understand why when you put Adam in the garden, now you see that it ain't good. How did it become not good when you put him in there? He said, oh, Deborah, I was kind of looking at what's going to be. I was looking at what it's going to be. So when I put him in there, I said, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Let me give him some help. Let me go and add on to that. He didn't turn around and make woman. He turned around and made all the animals. Let me put them in there with him and hand them to him so he had something to do. He created woman to help, to be a helpmeet for the man. Why? If he didn't, the man might have started going on the animals. So you got to understand why. What would make the creator all of a sudden say, oh, it is, let me pull that up. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18, it says, he broke down to Adam not to take of the tree of knowledge and good and evil, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Okay? That's what he said to Adam. Was Eve there? No. Was Eve there? No. Was Eve there? No. When he told Adam not to eat of it, because when he eat of it, he knew it was something that's going to be in a man. It's going to be able to get into a man. Now watch this here. And it wasn't that it was food, it was how he entertained. You see? Now it becomes in his head, in him. It's inside. Now watch this. Verse 18, and Yah said, it is not good that man shall be alone. I will make him and help me for him. You know what he was talking about? He turned around and then what did he say? And out of the ground, Yah formed every beast. So he gave him beasts to call a name to keep him busy. And he brought woman in after that. Why? So that what he put in the garden, which is the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is really a thing that you take in and you entertain and it become you. Okay? Let me give him animals to get his mind off of things. Then I bring in woman. But let me tell you, no good men, something. That Dowell and many of you all been lying. He did not make man, woman, for man as a lust or a pleasure tool, like man is today and man was yesterday. And that's why they mess with children and babies. Not great numbers. It's because they haven't learned that it starts here. So it don't have nothing to do with down there. It's where you entertaining it here. So what happened? He makes woman so that man can meet his will. Yah said from the beginning to the end, all things was created for my purpose, for my will. And that's when everything and all things were created for. Who went along and put in there, woman was only created for man and not man for woman? Though that sounds like a man with a tail between his legs and going around and around and ain't figured it out. Woman gonna be there for man. Then you're going into a pleasure. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It makes it a pleasure thing when you say it like that. And that's how Satan allowed you to manifest that mindset of thinking that a woman is just for your pleasure, not to bring forth the will of the Father. See, she was put there to bring forth the will of the Father, not so much as the pleasure and the desire of your sensation. If everything was created for the purpose and the will of the Father, how did woman be the only thing is created for the pleasure of man? That's how messed up the mindsets are. And that's how he have led the men to believe she is a sex tool. She's to clean and be on her back, and she's to be looking like a slave. Now watch this here. You look at the pictures back when they were enslaved. They look just like the Hebrew Israelite women today. Identical. They want to dress like them. They want to act like, because the mindset of the men is want to put them in a line of slaves. And the women so silly. They don't even understand that's all they doing. Making you a sex tool so you can be a servant unto them. Yah did not create woman to be a servant unto man, but to be a help meet. To meet what, Deborah? Not the sex desire of its lust, but to meet the Father's will. Meet the Father's will, something we don't know nothing about. Because we have forsaken the Father for so long, we don't know how to meet his will. We don't even know how to come nowhere near it. We don't even know it exists. We don't know nothing about his will. Because we're so caught up in our desire, our lust, our pleasure. We want to be a king and a leader and a ruler. Use a fool, and use a fool. Because you can't be a king, you can't be a leader, you can't be a ruler, and in captivity at the same time. That's something Dowell and many of the watchmen and seers and pastors and bishops, none of them will teach and preach you all. Because they had never saluted Deuteronomy 28. They never played the game and won. And now the game is over. Everything in Deuteronomy end game, if you never knew the end game of Deuteronomy 28, you still lost. How about you awaken? You are foolish flesh. You ain't awakened. No man on this earth can awaken you up to nothing but stupidity. And you all have wrapped your tail around this man Dowell for so long. The Father says, Deborah, all of them that shined his leaves and shined the fruit therein, the fruit's going to fall as soon as the apple. Now, as soon as the roots is already dying out. When the tree is dead, then the fruit is going to fall. And I said, well, you know what? Where are these people going to go? Most of these women don't have birth certificates on these babies. Most of these women don't have marriage license. When did y'all say come to not follow the law of the land? Only time you don't follow the law of the land is when it counteract the law of Yah. Oh, praise the mighty Yah. And that's a terrible state of mind that the Hebrew Israelite men have taught the women. And this is to get them stuck. Because many women have lost their husband on that platform, on that plantation of Dowell. And their children were left with not being able to identify if he was the father or not. So no Social Security, no nothing. Playing Dowell's game. You see? See, y'all don't have no problem with you following the law of the land as long as it don't counteract his law. His law is not your law. His law lives within. His law is not for the outer man. It's for the inner man who walks in spirit and in truth. That's why a lot of them lost. Because they don't know the difference between the law on the outside of man and the law within. They follow the outer law and they don't have no detachment to the inner law that's within. God's law and commandment is powerful than the law and commandment you follow out of the mouth of man. But you're too stupid to really grip it. Because this is the desire to follow the flesh. Y'all don't have no problem with you following the flesh because heaven got you wrote in, born as the flesh. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. All of you all that stuck with Dowell and hung out, and you got people who have gone away from Dowell, and guess what? They are no different than Dowell himself. They are no different. This is one lady get on here, and she was talking at one time, then this other guy, he was talking. I said, if that ain't Dowell all over again, they teach, they preach, they speak. Their attitude is funky as he is. And the Father told me then, Deborah, every apple that fell from the tree and took off is no different than the tree itself. Everybody that have supported that man, and especially these men on all these platforms that shine his leaves, that shine his fruit on this Dowell's tree, y'all say you might as well get in line behind him because you're going down. Because you ain't not going to mount up to anything. If you're thinking being on this devil platforms, getting likes and subscribers, making all these videos to show somebody up, ain't going to get it. Because y'all going to show you up real soon. So all this here, getting on these videos, they got this thing, they got collected all the old videos of Dowell and collecting all this trash. And same thing with Gino. They collecting all this stuff, but they don't even understand. Baby, you ain't too far from the door that he stand in front of. Did y'all remember that in the Bible, the man that had taken him and his wife had taken part of the funds, and they brought whatever they had, they put it before Peter's feet? You remember that? Have it ever dawned on you all? Watch this here. Have it ever dawned on you all the parable of that and how the man went first and later on the wife came? Why were they separate? You're all sending a sign right there. Every man and every woman out here, any woman that follows the unrighteous ways of a man, guess what? You're going to fall down just like that man. Soon as she came in, had she not followed what the husband were doing that was wrong, then she would have been living. She would have lived. But because she followed the wicked mindset of her husband, she fell too. But what I like about it, this is what I like about it, how y'all put them into two instead of coming as one. Okay, you're married. Why are y'all coming as two? And why is there a distance between each one of you all? Why didn't y'all come in as husband and wife? Y'all came different because y'all trying to prove a point. Women, you want to follow that trash, you're going to fall down dead with them. He showed me that today. He said, Deborah, the reason why, because I wanted to show and leave a message in this parable. And it wasn't a parable, but it was something that actually took place. He wanted to show that you want to follow wrong with this man, you going down too. I don't care if he go first and you go second. You both going down. He gonna go down first. That's just like the tree. Go first, and everything that grew around it, they're stuck on it, and all those other people on all these platforms shining his lead, calling him king, ruling this, or he's a man of Yah. Use a fool, and use a fool if you call that man the man of Yah. Now, all that's gonna happen, it's gonna pan over, and everybody gonna go into a pity party, and I love it, because that pity party is gonna come out power punching after a while. Oh, it's coming. Because what they're doing is they're doing the same they did. I'm trying to get you people, and we got some really good men that got clear heads. Don't get me wrong, really good, clear spiritual head. I'm telling you, you got men in the world and trying to portray that they're somewhere else because they ain't in the body of Hamashiach. I'm here to tell you, I'm there. And I got the spirit of discerning that can discern who's who and what's what. And you best bet this bold sister will tell you ain't part of it. Okay? So let me tell you what happened. When they take on Dowell and they have fed and caused many to run behind him because they wanted to glorify him. They wanted to edify him. None of these men are glorifying y'all. That's sad, ain't it? None of them is magnifying y'all. No one is praising and showing glory to the Most High Yah, to the world. But they go to Dowell. Oh yeah, he's the pastor. He's a man of Yah. Use a fool. You're gonna live a fool and die a fool, and you don't know how foolish you sound, because none of them has the spirit of discerning. That is only given to those that are in the body of Hamashiach. You know how many times I got in trouble when something happened anywhere, and I run up and I say, "Okay, Father, who's that? Well, why did you let that person come up on me like that? Why didn't you tell me he was coming or she was coming? He said, Deborah. Why ain't you trying what I gave you? Try that spirit by the spirit. Go beyond their flesh. Tap into their spirit, and you will know who's who and what's what." And ever since he told me that about 3 times. That happened to me about 3 times. Because he told me, stop running to me. You got the power. Try that spirit by the spirit. Don't tamper with the flesh. Go beyond the flesh. Because the spirit tells it all. And Dowell is one. That man has no spirit of Yah in him. And the Most High Yah told me he ain't never had it. That man was put down here to lead the mass and the multitude where they are today. This devil platform was put here to lead the mass and the multitude where they're at, especially Judah, the house of Israel. Judah, the house of Israel, because I get lost with the house of Israel, because all I keep hearing is you here to deal with Judah. With this house of Israel, I'm kind of like, well, okay. Because I'm sitting here watching Judah cut up from the floor up and realizing, wait a minute, Judah, the other 11 tribes supposed to be looking at you. And if you ain't done nothing in righteousness, well, what did that say about them? And I'm like, oh, see, y'all, something's going to happen. Something is really going to happen. Because Judah has truly, brown-skinned people has turned their whole eyes, their ears away from everything of the Most High Yah. And they have went and gone on all these platforms, and you all are calling them people of Yah. These are men that teaching truth. If this the truth, you know when you lost with a cause and without one. Because this stuff that they're teaching is not any truth. You know why it's not truth? Because it holds no spirit in truth. See, truth can't be just truth. It has to have the spirit to back it up and back it down. So all this trash out here talking about, oh, that's a man of truth, or that's a man, he teaching truth. Hey, no man can't teach truth without the spirit. How about that? How you like me now? How about that? No man, no woman can teach until they are spirit and truth. Oh, yeah, but you forgot something. The seed of the serpent can teach its truth. But that truth alone can't stand alone. It has to be backed up with the spirit. You see? Why? Because the whole purpose of him coming to live in us, he coming to live in us as a spirit. He coming to teach us all things and to teach us truth. So he is a spirit and he is truth. But no one's speaking spirit and truth, meaning that which that one that's in us, that's teaching us spirit and truth, has taught you. You ain't teaching that. You're teaching this horse mess that these men are telling you that is true. And I listen to Gino Jennings. I listen to, when I say I listen to him, y'all don't think I listen to these people all the time. I don't. Honestly, I don't. Dowell, and they use this book as the biggest scapegoat on the face of the earth for many people, from Christians to Catholics to Hebrew Israelites to Jehovah's Witness. Everybody take the same book, but why is it? How can this same book be the word? And you got a million different denominations or a million different interpretations. So how is it the word when Yah is one? It's words, y'all. It's words. Only one can break this book in and break it down is the word, which is the Ruach of the Most High Yah. And without the Ruach, you can't take this word and make it what you want to make it and say, see what the book said, what the book said. One example, he said, he that is joined together in marriage, becoming one. Y'all ain't telling you if you ain't both born of the spirit as one. That's a marriage in y'all's eyes. Not running up here getting 2 and 3 and 4 wives, or getting a wife and saying your vows in front of a nappy-headed man and calling it a marriage that Yah has joined together. You's a liar from the lake of hell, where your father of lies are going to end up. And you telling his lies on the earth for him. Yah is not looking for marriage that's unequally yoked as a marriage that is bonded by him. Any man and woman that's married, equally yoked when both of you are in the spirit as one. In the spirit as one. And you can find it where it tells you this is a mystery. Why? Father Yah, why is it a mystery? Because the flesh of man don't know that. They don't understand that, Deborah. Being united as one. You either united as one for the Satan, or you're united as one for the spirit of Yah. One or the other. But you can't call everybody you marrying. Yah said equally yoked. So a man cannot be over here and haven't submit to his own spirit. And if he haven't submit to his own spirit, he can't submit to Yah. He can't be a man of Yah because he haven't learned to submit to his own spirit. A woman over here that have not submitted to her own spirit can't be a woman of Yah. Because the first thing you have to tackle is the flesh. And the only way you can tackle the flesh is to get it under the subjection to your own spirit. Because your spirit is willing, y'all. Your spirit is willing. Oh, your spirit is willing to do the things which is righteous. But your flesh said, no, I only got one place to go. That's 6 foot under. I ain't thinking about your spirit. Then you start to just live your flesh. Yah has no dealing with your flesh, people. So you get this woman and you marry her and you go in before a nappy-headed man and get married, and then you think you equally. Equally to what? Satan or to Yah? Neither. Because you can't be equal as far as in the spirit. That's the one equally yoked in the eyes of Yah. Yah is not telling you if you get married to a man and a woman and they get married and they not equally. yoke in the spirit realm that they represent a true marriage. Y'all ain't thinking about that marriage you got in the flesh. You ain't thinking about your flesh. I don't know where people get along thinking that it's all about your flesh. Y'all ain't caught up in your flesh. He don't care what you look like on the outside. Because let me tell you something, what I come to know from the wilderness. I can get up, get myself ready, and go somewhere. As I'm getting in the car and I'm just thinking, oh, I'm going out here. He said, you need to put this here on. You see? Why? Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. He checked me. See, whenever you run up on the true and living Most High Yah, he'll check you any time of the day. He'll get you right when you are not right. You see? And there's times I have gone out when there's too many eyes looking. He says, see, now you know what you need to do. I go right back in the house and I change. You see what I'm saying? The Ruach know what he doing. He know who he got. Heavens had wrote you in 2 books. The book of life or the book of death. You mean he don't know what's on the earth, but you do? You want to run behind these men and listen to these women and these men tell y'all and rule y'all life, and then when it's time to go and time to run, you ain't got nothing in your backpack. No spirit and truth nowhere to be found. None whatsoever. But they telling you don't cross the bridge. There ain't gonna be no bridge for you to cross. We in the midnight hour. Oh, y'all said, no, we in that day. That day, y'all assigned to Satan to do what he wants. And he's doing it up. With all the people who running around here talking about, I got his name, I got this, I got that. Y'all need to sit your tails down. Understand that name is under the word and the power. 4 years old talking to the Most High Yah. 4 years old and the Most High Yah talking to me. I didn't know nothing about no name. No name. Just knew. I believed in what I couldn't see, and yet I believed. At 4 years old, I go down in that basement and I talk to her. 4 years old, 7 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old. Mama sent me to the store. The father. I would talk to him and say, I want to buy some candy. Mama didn't give me no money. I want to buy some candy. He made sure he had a pile of change sitting there for me. Don't tell me who I serve. I serve the living creator. He's proven himself to me throughout my life. You think I would take the rest of my life and live like a monkey mouth man? Tell me? No. Y'all deal on the inner man, not the outer. He has to tell you from the inner, hey, cut this out. Hey, Deborah, stand down. Hey, Deborah, get in line. Deborah, don't do this. Deborah, don't say this. He don't say that to me from the outside. He's in me, directing me to get this flesh under the subjection to that thing that is so greater in me. It's no way, and that's the problem. No one wants to seek him for direction. No one wants to believe that he would teach them all things. He said, did Yeshua say that man would come and teach you all things? Or did he say the Spirit of Yah, the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, will teach you all things? If he thought that this book will teach you all things, we have no need of the Ruach. But the Ruach has to pull up and pull out. He has to pull up this and speak spirit and truth in you. But he wants you to study the book until he pull out and give you the word of the words. I know it. You rather have flesh teaching you. You want a loud mouth, monkey mouth man to teach you. So you say you know something. You don't know nothing. You're chasing your tail. And when we tell you you can stop chasing your tail, it's between your legs. Where it being all the time. These men don't even know the power in their purpose that Yah has formed them. I'm like saying, well, wait a minute, hold up. You created everything in the perfect will, Genesis 1. Man took it all out. But when you created it, Adam came first. What's the deal? He said, you see how Adam pulled up was the creation? But in the perfect will, I had already willed it. And I already told him. And I called them, not him. What these men taking it, talking about, it's about them. They the king, they the leader and the ruler. He said they so gone. Like Deuteronomy 28 end game. Have you one of y'all ever played that end game? I know you haven't because it's in spirit too. It's in spirit and truth. So I know y'all ain't never played it. You talking the best game going. It's Deuteronomy 28. Try winning it. You ain't gonna win. It's a end game to Deuteronomy 28. And it's a part of Deuteronomy 28 that he's been telling these men. And yet, we in that day, and they still missed it. But he told me, Deborah, if they missed Genesis 1 and 2, they missed the whole book. And I am a living prophet, not a dead one. I can tell you, they have missed it. They have missed the book. They have missed the whole thing. And when I said the book, I mean they missed Yah, that's greater, the greatest teacher that comes to live in them. He ain't gonna teach them because they lied on the book. Here go Eve. Eve come over here and she's entertaining, right? And she's sitting here talking. Why is Eve lying? The lie was already present before she even entertained Satan. I don't get it. Yeah, I said, Deborah, what you didn't see? I said, well, over here I see Eve said you said not to touch. It don't come by touching, Father, y'all. You said it come by eating, which is eating is trying to show you a form of entertaining it, taking it in. Because when you eat something, you take it in. But Eve didn't say that. She said, and he said to eat, nor. He didn't. You go back to 18 and 17, 18. I said, wait a minute, Father, you didn't say that to Adam. So how did Eve say that and you didn't say it? So before she even entertained Satan in a way of entertaining him, the lie was already there. So who could have told her he said it? He said, look over there at Adam. Sitting right there. How could Eve entertain Deborah? This is how he broke it down to me. How can Eve entertain something that Adam was right there with her entertaining? How could it just be her? The Roman Catholics switched it to take the focus out of the creation of how Yah set it up. You see, they took and they made a scapegoat, something that Europeans have done throughout time. Always getting something to take the scapegoat. Yah said when he say left, the wicked gonna always say right. He say right, the wicked gonna always say left. He said, when you're born, you cry, and when you die, you rejoice. They gonna take it and screw it up. He said, everything I say, they can screw it up. I didn't tell Adam that. So where is Eve saying that? And who put that in the book? I didn't say man was created. Woman was created for man and not man for woman. When in Genesis 1, I called them. When did I break them up? He said a lot of it. You have to only hear it from the ruach from within, not from the monkey mouth of men, but the ruach that is within, not from the monkey mouth of men. And that's where Judah is messed up from the floor. But I tell you, Judah, y'all got a treat for you, a real good treat for you. What he was dealing with me on today is when a young man called and told me, "Did you? Are you gonna go see the movie? Are you gonna go see?" I said, "What movie is that?" He said, "It's coming out on the 15th. It's called A Civil War, whatever." I said, "Why entertain a movie when the Ruach has already shown it unto me? Why is it that the brown skinned people don't see the migrants, the immigrants coming in is a sign of Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. Why is it the melanated men and women can't see Matthew's 24 and verse 7? Do they understand that that's what's finna take place? Do they understand that something going on? Oh, no, because the men are telling them that you come to get them. And they all good in their lust, in their porno, in their wicked, in their abomination. And if Yah is going to okay the flesh of men to marry and to have as many women and to degrade women to the lowest of low, Why would he turn around and put adultery? And what does adultery mean? See, what they don't understand, a lot of things that they trying to mimic Abraham, Isaac, he cut it out in Leviticus. But see, what they did is they went and they said, let's pick up they flesh desire. Let's take on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and David, and Solomon. Let's take on their flesh. You know what? Y'all was explaining to me something about Solomon. You know what the father was telling me? He said, Deborah, Solomon didn't have wives, those women as wives, as the world may know of wives. It wasn't as sexual. He was so wealthy that they were taken care of. They were in a location, but these weren't women he was laying down with, having sex and doing all this. No. He said, but if you let the flesh of man break that thing, that's what they would say. That's why they taking on things and they don't understand. They don't understand the what they're taking on. I'm looking for wow, I cannot believe it. I can't even see it. Oh, 1 Peter chapter 3. In 1 Peter chapter 3, he said that they take it on. They don't understand that when they go talking about polygamy, that Dowell won them over by saying, oh, it's in the book. It's in the book. People don't even understand. These are words, y'all. Words with an S. Yah is the word. You remember when Yeshua, which the world called Jesus, who went to the mountain? What did he do? He put it on Satan. He put it on him. He said, it is written. He told Satan, it is written. You can say what you want to me. It's already written. So all this monkey mouth and these men are teaching y'all, it's already written. While y'all running around here following these silly men, having their silly ways, want y'all to think that they have the power and the ruler and have the word. They don't have the word. They have words. And their words deceive you. That's why there's two gates, y'all. There's two gates. One to the narrow and one to the broad. Why is it no one ever realized the narrow gate? He said, very few shall find. Very few shall find the narrow gate. You never dawned on you that he's saying that? No, it don't bother them, Deborah. Because right now they lust on. This man then built, not only him, but many others. Geno Jennings got this thing about woman on one side, men on the other. Wait a minute, hold up. The Ruach is one. Why are women on one side and men on the other? See, that's how Satan rumbles. Why? Because he wants you to be separate, as if you need to be separate because you can't control yourself. That's why a man would rape a child, go into years and come back out and rape a child again. Why? Because you think you put him in jail, that's going to stop him from raping a child when he get out? You think a man can murder someone, stay in jail 20 years, come back out and murder again because he was locked up? The murder that he was when he was locked up, he come out and murder again. Now, I'm not saying that's not in all cases. I'm trying to tell you, you can't tame the flesh of man. You can't control the flesh of man. But what made Jim Jones Dowell do, that's a part of what that is. He did it with his eyes wide open. He's a loudmouth. 5.5 years when I first saw him on live. I said, look at that man. He's loud and look at his mouth. Big mouth. And who did he trap? Basically me. He deceived them to leave all those seeds that was in their wombs with a woman. Baby, it was your obligation. Those children don't belong to no woman. They belong to the man. That's why he said he would bring the children back to the father and the father back to the children. He wants the men to really understand that these children that you have left and that these men tell you to leave because of whatever reason you say, if a man has to leave his wife, it's nothing wrong with it if it's a toxic marriage. But a man that believed in Yah and got a spirit submissive to his flesh, he then seeks the spirit of Yah. 4 years old, knowing this creator. I remember my oldest sister. Let me give you an example. I was at work. I got a call from my mother. Was it mama? I think it was my mother. I think it was my mother. It wasn't my sister, telling me that my sister's husband was paranoid. He was on these drugs and he was after her again because he's paranoid. He was with them heavy drugs. And he keep threatening her life. And she was with her co-worker. He followed them with his motorcycle, with his gun in the side of his pouch. Her co-worker, who she worked with at Southwestern Bear for many years. And at nighttime, he would jump up and say, she got somebody under the bed. He was so paranoid. This is what the drugs do to him. Do you know that man, the first time I said, when it happened, I said, Father, if that man harmed my sister, I know where I'm at in you. But you know I don't have no sense. I don't have none. That man, he's bothering my sister in a way that I do not care for. 3 days later, he got shot 3 times. Guess why he got shot? He jumped on an old man. And the old man's son shot him 3 times. He went into the hospital. He got out. Okay, he got out. All of a sudden, I get another call. He's after my sister again. He had set her on fire. Her house, the back door, she on the one way out. He set the back door on fire so she couldn't get out. That's when I was staying in California. I didn't find that out till I got back. But this is the example. I'm going to give you a slight. I'm going to pull up and pull out. So it was 3 weeks later. He got out the hospital already. He's at home back with my sister. And he's doing the same old thing. And now she's really scared. Now she called me. And at that time, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I went into a deep prayer with the Most High. And I just laid it out. I just laid that thing out. I said, you know me better than anything. I didn't even want to be human when I'm going before him. You know me better than anything that you have created. And you know what I'm feeling right now. I don't want him to ever do that again or even threaten her. She worked with this guy. He never worked a day in his life. He's been locked up for like 10 years here, get out, 6 years here. And I guess she constantly taking care of him and doing everything for him. Never worked. And she was married to him for about longer than 30 years. So, you know, this man, this particular time, I said, okay, that's it. That's it. I went to the Father and I was telling the Most High. That was it. I said, that's it. That's it, Father. If you don't, this is what I said. And I know it sounds harsh, but y'all know I'm real. I said, Father, if you don't, I will. I said, that's it. See, he got shot 3 times. The first crowd. Okay, that was the warning. Pull up, bro. You got somebody over here praying. Nah. Boy, let me tell y'all something. When I went before the Father, and I told him, I said, if you don't, Father, I will. I said, I've been knowing you since I was a little baby. And this got to stop. I don't want my sister to ever call me and tell me nothing like this is happening or this gonna stop. This gonna stop. Y'all, you know what? That evening, it bothered me. I went to bed. I had prayed about it. I did, y'all. Woke up the next morning, early that morning, like 7, from a phone call. And they said, get to the hospital. What happened? That's what I said. What happened? He got shot. This time, straight through the head. Shot him in the head. Guess what the investigation was about? The bullet that shot him should have never been sold out of no gun shop nowhere. It was the type of bullet that when you shoot somebody in the head, it explodes. So much for that. I'm going to tell y'all something. One thing I don't like about this devil platform is people get on this devil platform and show their tails. I do not like how you all are on here disrespecting the Most High Yah with these clowns. These people coming to you all saying they represent the Most High Yah with no spirit and truth in them. They have no light. They just got their mouth on these devil platforms, and you're liking and subscribing, telling that you're born of the serpent seed. That's all you're doing. And if the serpent himself, Satan, knew that the Father told him in Genesis chapter 3 and 15 that I'm going to have my spirit seed and you're going to have yours. It's on. It's on. And you can't see yourself being one or the other. That shows you that every one of y'all clowns that's on these devil platforms thinking you a leader, you're a man of Yah, you're a king, you're a ruler, you're a fool, you're a fool. You're going to live a fool and you're going to die a fool. But you're going to see on the other side what seed you always were. Satan already know it. Because Satan knew, because he wanted to check Satan because he didn't want him to think that, hey, I gained Adam and Eve. They went my way. No, they didn't, bro. They didn't go your way. Heavens put the trees there. You didn't. Who put the 2 trees? Heaven, the kingdom, glory, the Most High right hand put 2 trees in the midst of the garden. If he didn't want the tree of knowledge and good and evil that leads to death in that tree, they're in the midst, then he wouldn't have put it there, and then it wouldn't have been no sin. How you like the heavens now? See, y'all want to run y'all tails and run y'all mouth and think that you are, in a sense, God, as the world talk, God's most gift to the world. Use God's most gift to the world for Satan's side. So you nailing it, bro. You nailing it, sis. You got people prophesying and telling the world as if y'all send them down here to coach the world. He said the world loves his own. They know their mission is for Satan. So what are you trying to warn the world about? You see? Because they are of the world. They are partaker in the world. And they got y'all tails thinking because they on here saying, yeah, we the people, we. Use the fool. You are the fools. And let me tell you how much of a fool Judah is, the melanated people that's here in captivity is. Let me tell you how much of a fool you are. It was created for you to be the fool of the fool on this earth. Before he sums anything up, guess what he got to allow to happen? And you sit here waiting for the ship. You waiting for the planes to take you to the promised land. You waiting for the ships to pull on in. But first and foremost, he got to get the whole world hating you in a way that's out of this world. Because there's things you doing and you have done and you continue to do to belittle your own tribe, to belittle and disgrace your women and your children. You know how stupid men are. How can you disgrace who you are? They come from you. I know the men didn't teach you that, did they? But the kingdom will, if you got the kingdom living in you. He will teach you that. Bro, you can't say nothing to no woman. You can't say nothing to the kids. You got to start with you. These kids and these women come from you. How stupid can Judah be? As stupid as y'all want them to be. That's why when you pull up in Deuteronomy 28, he's telling you, I'm going to wear your tails out until you destroy. Praise the mighty Yah. I checked with them about that. I said, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all, hold up a little bit, hold up. When you saying until they destroy, Father, y'all, are you saying that the heathens going to destroy us? Are you saying that the Gentiles and all these other countries going to destroy you? Deborah, I said, until they are destroyed. Go back and read it. Deuteronomy, the end game. Have you ever played it? It's worth winning. Deuteronomy 28 is worth playing and winning the end game. Because when you win it, it'll wake you up and it'll shake you up in a way that you've never been woke up nor shook up. Because you're running here with your tails between your legs, chasing the flesh of a man. A flesh of a man don't have that which is spirit and truth. A flesh of a man does not hold the light on the right hand. The reason why I know Dowell don't have the light, I know Genos don't have the light. You know why I know they don't? Because they don't have the word. They have the words. It's a big difference. The words versus the word. The word come to teach you all things. The words come that you may study to show yourself approved. That's the difference in the two. Y'all running y'all tails around here thinking you know something. You don't know nothing. You're running around here. Oh, what did the words say? What did the words say? The words don't mean nothing if the rock don't pull up with the word. Because he is the word. The word was. The word is. It was in the beginning. This book wasn't here in the beginning. So see how foolish y'all are. One, y'all pull up as the word to teach you all things. This book pull up as words that you may study to show yourself approved. That's the difference. And y'all running y'all tails, letting the man tell you, what did the word say? What did the book say? What did the Bible say? You are foolish people. This book is not the beginning nor the end. This is not Alpha and Omega. This book, let me see this book heal your darn tails. Can't be done. Let me see this book deliver your tails. Can't be done. Can't be done. You can't get nothing done through this book. You can quote it from front to back and back to front, and then you ain't gonna get no deliverance until the rock of the Creator pull up and deliver you. And he ain't gonna deliver you if it's nothing in you that consists of him. So you go on and read the words. Study to show yourself approved. That's why he told you to study to show yourself approved. Rightly dividing the word of truth. But when I come, I say, Terry, when I come, I say, Terry. Let me give you an example. The Messiah, as Jesus, as Yeshua pull up. He come on the scene born of a woman, a seed of a woman. You know what that means? Spiritual. A woman's seed is spiritual. Joseph's seed bloodline. No. Abraham bloodline. No. David bloodline. No. Jacob bloodline. No. No, Deborah, he gonna pull up as the woman's seed, the bloodline of the spirit. Hallelujah. You want to make him black, huh? You want to make him melanated. You want to talk about what he look like. Let me tell you something, bro. Now one of you going to see him for once has been spoken. You're going to see him for who he is, who he was, with the flesh on him. You ain't going to see him that way. So all this wolf talking and talking about, oh, he black, that cakey hair, he came from, he black man. Who gives a rat's behind when he's spirit? When you see him again, he's going to come in the spiritual form. Oh, no. You think a spiritual got kinky hair? You think a spirit is melanated? Come on now. Talk to me, somebody. You're going to see him for who he was, not who he is. So who he is what you saw. But who he was is what you have not seen. That's why you're lost with the cause and without one. Because you don't want to see nothing in the spiritual realm in which the Messiah was created, in which Yah is, Yah was, and Yah gonna be. You don't want to see it that way. You want to see it in the realm of your flesh. Because you want to give all glory to the flesh. You want to give all authority and all righteousness to the flesh. You go right ahead. You go right ahead. Give it to your flesh. Flesh gonna die, being lost with the cause and without one. He said in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people, Deborah. I said, but Father, why do you call them your people? He said, because I put them under my name, Deborah. That's why. I put them under my name. I know it. I know it. He said, but they gonna perish, Deborah. I said, wait a minute. Hold up. You talking about your people? He said, my people. My people. But they gonna perish, Deborah. They gonna perish for the lack of knowledge. I said, what's the deal? Because they lacking knowledge, you gonna let them perish? Father, y'all, you gonna let your people perish because of knowledge? He said, no, Deborah. They reject knowledge, Deborah. They reject knowledge. I'm gonna reject their butts. I'm gonna reject their children. I'm gonna reject it all. Wait till I get to that promised land. They just don't know me. They're gonna see me for who I am. They're going to know me for what I am. It's a sad thing that we can clown down here on the earth. We can roll and act a fool with these men, trying to make these men stop women and men, making these men rulers and kings and leaders over your flesh. They'll send you along the line of the broad gate right along with them. This thing is spirit when you're walking in the spirit with a spiritual creator. It is spirit. When you're walking with Yah, it is spirit. When you're walking with Yah, it is spirit. These people on these platforms are not spirit, y'all. They're not speaking in the spiritual realm. They're not teaching in the spiritual realm. They're not understanding in the spiritual realm. Their understanding is flesh. Their wisdom is flesh. Their knowledge is flesh. They're teaching you out of their flesh. They have no spirit and truth. And they definitely don't have the light in their right hand. The light is what set upon the mountain on the hill that cannot be hidden. These clowns, they enjoy life with subscribers and likes. No spirit and truth attached to none of their messages. And they're videoing people and putting the people up and talking about the people so negativity as if Yah called you to backtrack somebody and bring it forward to prove your point. Prove your tail somewhere and sit down. Because the same thing you track up and you bring back and you pull forward, y'all gonna pull forth on your tail. It's just, you might as well get in line with Dowell. You might as well get in it. You shine his leaves, you shine his fruit. Go on, get in his same lane. And the sad part is, no, it ain't sad. He wants me to stop saying it. Because it's not sad. The truth of the whole matter is, you ain't getting away with it no more. You ain't getting away with it. Y'all don't understand. I sat back and I watched about a week ago. I watched all these brown-skinned men come up to defend Puff Daddy now. And in my mind, I'm saying, see there, Father, this is what you were saying. He said, I told you. They're gone. They don't know nothing about the end game in Deuteronomy 28 that they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be destroyed because, see, Deborah, they're not going to ever do it right. They're not going to do it right, Deborah. I told you. These people ain't gonna, these people been like this, not since you came on the scene. They've been like this, Deborah, since the beginning of time. They came down from heavens like this. You see, you remember the woman that had a son that was withered, and the disciples asked him, what did his parents do to cause him to be like that? And Yeshua told him, no, it didn't have nothing to do with his parents and his mother and the father. It had to do with glory. Hallelujah. So that y'all may get the glory. Hallelujah. Y'all don't know the one I serve. The one I serve. He's entitled to all praise. He's entitled to all glory. He should be exalted day and night. 24 should it be exalted. If one exalt him at one hour, the other one exalt him the next hour, it should be nonstop exalting him, praising him, glorifying the Most High Yah. For all that he was from the beginning of the foundation of the world, all that he is today, and all that is going to be at the end. Oh, yes. But he said, I told her, hold up, Deborah, hold up, Deborah. I'm going to get some glory at the end. You know that. I'm going to pull up and show out. But guess what? Many of you all don't understand Mm, 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 mm. What you're seeing is Yah revealing all the wickedness in Judah. Now, this is something else I'm going to tell y'all I see. I also see the Europeans and family and husbands and women. They're cutting up from the floor. Now, you know the war is on. I know the war that's it's on because now it's not a color thing. It's not a nation or a nationality. It's now y'all is letting all the evil have its way. Why? Because Satan don't give a rat's behind if you melanated or if you white. I don't know where along the line they think Satan after Judah, Satan after Israel. Baby, let me tell you something. Satan said he ain't got time to play with you all. You all out here playing that. And in the midst of you all playing out here like that, ain't none of you following the righteous will of the Father. Ain't now one of you following spirit and truth with the light in your right hand. But yet you wants to say that everybody is wrong, everybody doing this and everybody, and then you haven't looked in the mirror and seen how ugly you look. How ugly you looked in the time past. Because when you see yourself, you see your forefathers. Because he said you're worse than your forefathers. So if you're thinking you're doing better than your forefathers, something is wrong with you deeper. You are destroyed. Whenever you all take our time and read Deuteronomy 28 endgame, hey, I'm gonna tell you, it's joy. When I read it, I get joy because I see that the Creator need to have the full victory in this thing. Because these people been clowning since the beginning of time. Since he signed them under his name, they've been showing up and showing out with no respect of who he is and his name is. First and foremost, you run around here with your monkey mouth talking about the name is this, the name is that, the name is this. Next month, no, next 6 months, it'll be something else. But you realize it ain't the name that y'all think. The name is founded under the power. The power is founded under the word. And the word and the power is the spirit of who y'all is. That's why he said you baptize with fire. Because you see, y'all thinking to baptize, and Gino thinking I'm going to put you in a dry devil and you will come up a wet one. And I get the mark. I get a check in heaven. No, bro, sit your tail down. You ain't doing nothing but taking a dry devil, putting them in the wet water and bringing them back up, lying to him. No. Before you go in that water, you get the baptism of the spirit. Then you take that water for your flesh. But first and more, the spirit come first. You get your tail and get baptized by the fire. You get your spirit baptized. Then you go under the water for your stinky flesh. You don't go under the water and thinking you're going to come out the water and you're going to be something. You ain't nothing until you get the fire baptism in your bosom. And that's through the Holy Spirit. He said, when you receive that, Deborah, you shall receive power. Where's your power? Got all these monkey mouth men on these devil platforms talking all this yang, yang, yang. And they gang banging like crazy. And y'all sitting here liking and striving all this chaos. And thinking this mess is okay. This is chaos. Worldly. Just using a name to try to make somebody think that they some sort of uppity in the spirit. And ain't playing nothing but the same darn game that the world play. The game bangers play. That's what they doing on these devil platforms. Using the devil platform to play the devil's game with one another. Ain't now one of them trying to pour out the spirit and truth so that the people have something in their backpack come the time of great sorrow, which is before us. Oh no, people finding more pleasure in this chaos. Men going up against other men that's falling. Oh, he gonna fall. Let him alone. Let him fall. It is said that he gonna fall. Let him fall. Because while you going behind him talking about what he doing, you right behind him. You in the line with him and don't know it. Because you're the same people that supported him. As long as he was feeding these men about polygamy and women this and women that, this man go back to every video. I ain't gonna go back to every video because I don't watch it like that. But I ain't heard the man say nothing positive about a woman. He can start off, he can start off about the football game. He can get a whole 45 minutes and he can say, okay, the football game, this. Yeah, let me tell you, women, they this. He degrade women. What? Wait a minute. Pull up Genesis 1. God's called them. Word become him. Wait a minute. What is you saying, Father? He said, Deborah. Man did that. I never put man. He was supposed to help me. That's what I put. I put them in together as them. Man turned it to him. Because they turned it to him, it's still going away. I wrote it up, Deborah, in the kingdom. See, that's one thing about heaven. Heaven got it wrote in and wrote out. Heaven's got it marked in and got it marked out. So when we clown down here, you can clown all you want. Heaven already know you's a clown. You see? Sister Deborah just get heated because she's seeing you being a clown. But heaven knows you a clown already. Heaven knows who already written in the lake of fire. Heaven knows who's in the book of life. And I can guarantee you nobody on this devil platform that is praising the Most High, y'all, exalting him, recognizing his power, his word, and who he is. You don't get these people on this platform doing that. They on here trying to go after somebody regarding what they doing. And at one time you supported him. You did exactly what he did. You agreed to what he did. And now you're trying to hate him. And this is something else I said years ago. Not years, yeah, almost a couple of years ago. How Dowell was going to come down is when them Europeans that's in his group start to stand. And look how the Negro men, look how the melanated men took that white man word and what he said to the utmost. You see? Tell me Judith ain't gone cuckoo crack. Gone. They took an interview from a white man that left straightway. They wanted to hear from him. Rufus, these men are just as silly can be. Rufus is the closest apple to the rotten tree. Why would anybody take Rufus' side when he the only one that's the right-hand man of the rotten tree? But then he gonna pull away from the tree, and then you gonna take his side. Why is Judith a fool? Why do Judith can't see any righteous in nothing? Why is it they can't see that this is not making any sense? Rufus did everything this man want him to do. And 99% of the time, I'm going to tell y'all the truth, it was wicked. But long as he was his ace, he didn't have no problem. You see? And I noticed that about Puff Daddy, P Daddy, same situation. Melanated people have this tendency of doing wicked and evil to the highest. You see? To the high of the highest. And don't have no problems doing everything Diddy want them to do. Had any one of them stopped all of it back then Diddy wouldn't be in the trouble he in today. But because everybody found pleasure in wrongdoing and wickedness and evil, now all I'm trying to back up. Oh, he did it to me. Oh, yeah, he did it. He did. No. The Most High, y'all saw it all. As he saw every man that hung from the tree. He was looking. He saw it. Did you see him come get him down? He saw P. Diddy in everything he did. He watched all of y'all follow behind this man, marvel off of what he was doing, marvel off of what he had, marvel off of what he was given. Same thing with Dowell. These men got with Dowell and saw, well, I can have all these women. I can have all this land, property. I can be a leader. I can be a king. Or I can have all these women. I can have virgins. I'm going this route. Evil men. Evil people, y'all. Following the ways of darkness. And don't have no problem with it. But now that the tree is starting to rotten. the roots. Puff Daddy is now in the opening. Everybody's coming up and said, yeah, he did this, he did that. You know about right? I think all of them need to go to jail with him. All of them should be found guilty. Because all it takes is one to say, no, he gonna get away with it. Even Cassie. All of this stuff y'all let him do. And now it's about getting the dollar. Now you want to say something when he done it all this time, and he been doing it for a mighty long time. Even his mama, lock them all up. Lock them all up. Because what y'all is about to do in this day, he's showing Satan, I'm letting you do what you do. But payback is also in my right hand. Y'all ain't letting nobody get away with trying to think they got one over on him. And that's the tribe of Judah, the house of Israel. You really believe that he's going to allow your people to get away with all this wickedness and this sin and all these men running around here degrading the women that came from their womb? How can you say anything about a female when she comes from out of you? Does that make any sense? In that female's ways, y'all say, I'm going to visit the iniquity of the children, 3 to 4 generations. Tell them, Deborah, I'm coming for their kids because of their evil ways. So if you say a woman is away, you got to look at the man. You said this boy and this girl is away, you got to look at the man. You said grandmama is this way, you got to look at the man because we all came from out of him. And Yah said the sins of the men he will visit in the children. You see? And he said 3 to 4 generations. And if it continue, it's going to continue even to today. And we're sitting here making him alive. No, we ain't making him alive. We're making ourselves alive because we're getting behind these men and we watching them commit all kind of sin. Dowell get on this line and he be drinking and causing all color brown-skinned men to think that this is okay. But then you want the women to keep their heads down and not look up. You want the women to dress like they are slaves. The women don't have no problem with it because they thinking that they looking at the wrong thing. They looking at what he can give, what he can offer. Oh, he done drilled in them. They can't do no better. Okay. That means you chose an idol God. See, that's what the men did. They chose an idol God than the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And which is understood. That's why you're in this curse. Because your forefather didn't choose Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God. You see? Nor did you. But you want to get on these devil platforms because the devil didn't open up a platform for you to open your loud mouth. And you want to get on here and deceive and the people to the broad gate. And they taking their stupid tail in there. Like they gaining something. You ain't gaining nothing. That's why I don't agree with people telling the heathens and the Gentiles what they can and cannot do. How are you going to tell the heathens and the Gentiles what they can do in the land in which they have claimed? You the one out of place. Have you figured that out? He said you in captivity, not them. But you over here telling them how it's supposed to be done. How you going to tell them how to serve y'all and you ain't served them? Because if you did, you wouldn't be over here. But what do y'all say? Deborah, I bumped it all the way to Abraham. You know how many thousand years ago that was? And they still don't get it. They're over here trying to tell the heathens and the Gentiles how to live. When I told Abraham thousands of years, I'm going to send them to a land they do not know. And it's not of theirs. They come over here want to tell them what the name is. How you going to tell them what the name, and you denied the name the moment you got over here? You cursed his name the moment you got over here. You profaned his name the moment you got over here. But then you going to stand here and try to tell him what the name is. You see how cuckoo clock Judah is? The house of Israel is gone. But the key to Israel being gone is this. This is the key. When you understand Deuteronomy 28 and you have beat the Deuteronomy 28 game, you understand they are placed here to be as stupid as they are. To be exactly everything I'm saying is 100. Y'all planned it that way. He knew that this was a stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient people. That's why he told Abraham thousands of years. You think he told him that thousands of years ago for you not to be what he said you're going to be? Do you know who you dealing with? No, they don't. And nor do they care. They think a man can tell them and teach them and preach to them and show them the way. But then y'all done sat there and told them when the Ruach come, it's coming to show up and show out and teach minds all things. Y'all want to be foolish and keep learning from the rear end of a man, you go right ahead. But the Ruach gonna pull up and teach minds all things. You see? But I'm gonna let them know it's gonna come with power. How about that? Now one of these men can show up on their power. They want to rule, lead, and guide you. They want to say they leaders, kings, and rulers. Oh, we're a man. Where's your doing power? And I ain't talking about in your body. I ain't talking about in your flesh. Because your flesh don't hold the power. You thinking of the strength of your body, your flesh. See, these men are so hung up on their flesh, they don't know the difference from flesh and spirit. So therefore, they going to live and die living out their flesh because they want their flesh to be looked at as a spirit. Like Dowell tell the people, the fruit is him building. No, the fruit is you stealing. You're stealing from all the people. You're taking from all the people to get what you got. And none of these men ever dawned on them that this man is a show-off. This man is a narcissist. This man is pride-minded, self-centered, self-ego. This man don't know nothing about a woman. He don't even know how to love a woman. That's what his problem is. But his problem didn't extend from here. His problem extended years ago. Years ago when he was young. He always had problems with women. And then these men get around here and support him and go under his rulership and his leadership and how you treat a woman. How dare you, ignorant man, let a man tell you how to treat a woman? How a woman's supposed to be. Why now one of you went to the altar of the Most High God? Why now one of you seek the Ruach of the Creator? Your marriage broken. You left your kids and you never turned to the face of God. You went straight to the face of a man. If that's not like the homosexuals, go to man. You see? That's all they want. And they will boost each other as high as each one of them can to make people think that these people, these men are all this and all that. Judah is never. Go back to Genesis 49. Hear Jacob tell Judah, you ain't going to be nothing. Jacob tell him straight out. You'll be a young lion to an old lion crouched down. He said, who can awaken Judah? Nobody. So why are you men and women out here trying to awake your foolish tribe? It's time for you to be awakened in the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh. He can only one that can awaken you in the understanding of who he is. But no, you want flesh. You want a flesh that you can see. You can run back. You done saw all Dowell has and all Dowell is getting and how he's controlling everything and how dominant he is to you. You left your family, your wives, and your kids for a man. How can a man leave his family for a man? You think y'all approve of that? How can a man leave his family for a man? That's worse than homosexual. Why? Because your family, those seeds, wasn't that woman. It was yours. That was you all in them children you got. That was yours. Those are your seed. See, what the men didn't understand, you born as a man. Just like y'all want to tell a homosexual, you can't be no woman. You can't dress no woman. You can't be a woman. And Jenny's standing there with 2 sons, homosexual. TD Jakes standing there with a couple of sons, homosexual. Everybody got these sons, these seeds. Where did these seeds come up in your family like this? See, y'all saying something to us. He's teaching us. You see? But we want to sit and tell the world about homosexual, and we got worse ways than a homosexual. All of it's what wrong, but yours, you can't say nothing to the homosexual because your ways is worse as theirs. You're leading these men to the broad gate. Now, he ain't leading them to the broad gate. They already going the way. It's just sad. They're going the way, and they content. They don't have no problem going Dowell's, Jenny's, and he's another one going to be at the same door because who's going to get him is the same apple that fell from his tree is coming back for him. The moment he opened his mouth again, he told him, he said, you open your mouth one more time on me, the world gonna know you. And see, that's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't know Geno Jennings. See? And that's why I say, when he going around here trying to tell the world, y'all can't do this, you this, and this and this and this, how you gonna judge the whole world when the world loves its own? How stupid do you sound? You should be about the more lost spirits that's out here, that's trying to find peace in Yah. You out here, you don't even want to tell them anything about the Most High Yah. You want to control everybody. Everybody got this thing about wanting to control everybody. Everyone want to lead everybody by control. You take y'all stupid tail up under them and be controlled. And then when it's time, you even have nothing in your backpack. Like now, it's bad, y'all. It's bad. It's badder than what you think it is. So I'm like saying, Father, I'm gonna be here to see it when it get any worse. That's just how bad it is. While y'all around here thinking life is peachy keen, because you're clowning. I haven't seen a man on these devil platforms. The ones that I started off listening to, they turned the whole Hebrew Israelite thing upside down. They now in every white man's book. It's like they turned over to the vomit, in which they taught it real good to the point where I saw them. You didn't. I saw them trickling all the way down. All the way down. Now they down at rock bottom, talking totally the opposite of anything that has to do with melanated people. They talking everything about the heathens and the Gentiles now, that they got the truth. It's amazing to me. It is amazing, but it's okay. It's okay. Because all those years I've always said, Judah, the house of Israel and Judah is messed up on the floor. And now, since I have been told that I beat the end game, I got victory in the end game of Deuteronomy 28 end game, I'm good. I'm good. Because that's a game that have y'all going and coming. I'm telling you, to have you moving. But when the Ruach break that thing down to you and tell you it's over, it's finished, and you see the puzzle pieces, you see all the puzzle put together, you say, all right now, it's making sense. So the end of it, you all, is this. The Most High Yah is going to take the worst of the worst and restore them. After, watch this, after the world have hated you to the level of his hate. Y'all didn't know that, did you? The world going to have to hate you to a level of the Most High Yah hate. Then he going to get the people that's hated by the whole world, and he's going to take them and restore them. And when all the world see that the hated of the hated is being restored on Mount Zion, then the world's going to know that he is the I am. That's the whole idea of being able to master the game and beat the game, is when you know now why Deuteronomy 28, that Judah and the house of Israel, basically Judah is destroyed and the house of Israel. But I'm saying Judah because that's who he set me amongst, until they are destroyed. And it feels good because it's no more puzzle pieces. I don't have to look through scriptures and trying to find puzzle pieces to make things make sense. It already makes sense. Once you have conquered the Deuteronomy 28 end game, the end of Deuteronomy 28, the outcome, then you know that, okay, it's time to stand back and just watch the glory and the power of that right hand is stretched out on him. Do what he got planned to do. Now, the end is beautiful because the whole world is going to hate you. Okay. But they're going to hate you for his name's sake. For his name's sake. For his name's sake. They're going to hate you. Stop running around here talking, we the people, we the this, we the this, we the Jews. You all, he ain't talking about you. He ain't talking about the clowns. For his name's sake. His name's sake. They're going to hate you for his name's sake. Now, what kind of hate is that going to be, Father? You're saying the whole world is going to hate these people. The whole world. What kind of hate is that? The hate that I create. Praise the mighty Yah. So there's a hate that they're going to hate. And it's going to be a lot of people that's going to lose their lives. A whole lot of them going to lose their lives. That's why he tells you that. He tells you. But the outcome is his victory. I don't care about Sister Deborah's victory. Deborah ain't got no victory. I don't have no victory. My victory is his victory. His glory, his honor, his praise. Him being exalted. That's my victory. That's my glory. It's his. And that's what he's doing. He letting you cut up from the floor up and show your nakedness. And why the end game of Deuteronomy is that you are destroyed. Then the world gonna pull up and hate you. So you got to understand there's some things you're going to be doing and you are doing, and you're going to a blind eye because you got all these fake bishops, pastors, priests, all these fakes, watchmen, seers, and Maureen's and was pastors and all them telling you lies. Nothing they telling you cause you to grip the hem of his garment. Nothing. Ain't nan one of y'all tells. Pulling up and gripping the hem of y'all's garment. You know how many times I had to do that? You know how many times I had to grip his garment? Out of what I was feeling from the inside, I gripped that garment. And when I do that, he pull up. He said, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. See, that's when you know you trusting in the unseen, but yet you believe. That's the one I come to know. I don't know who y'all serving, who you think you serving. I know you serving the clowns. And that's why your tail is between your legs, chasing behind somebody else's tail, while yours is stuck between your legs. But y'all is watching you. And that's why Deuteronomy 28 said, they are destroyed, Deborah. And then I said, wait a minute, are the heathen or Gentile? Who going to destroy it? He said, they're going to blame it on the heathens and Gentiles, but I'm going to destroy it. Praise the mighty Yah. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, I hope you got something out of it. And all of you clowns that have followed Dowell, you follow Gino Jennings, you follow a lot of these guys on these platforms and these women, don't get me wrong. These prophets and prophetess don't have no business going after the world. Let me just nail it. The world loves its own. They know how to take care of themselves with their lives. Yah is not sending a servant in the body of Hamashiach to go warn the world. No, he ain't sending nobody to go chase the world. The world ain't go. See, this the day of Noah, okay? Noah went in to tell him it's going to end. Why didn't you think not one pulled up? Because it's not the will of the Father. So it ain't his will that he's sending the body of Hamashiach into the world to warn the world to stop doing what the world loved doing. He gonna send his to the body of Hamashiach. Get it right. That's what he's gonna do. Do this and do that. Don't do that, or you gonna get in trouble. Don't do this. Don't do that. He ain't got time to be all up in the world saying, y'all, Beyonce, stop this, Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, T.D. Jakes, Dollars, Clifford Dollars, Joyce Meyer, what's his name? Osteen, Gino Jennings. He ain't got time for y'all trash. You know what day it is. It's the day of Satan's. That's why you see all these heathens and Gentiles killing each other like it's raining outside. And now one of y'all notice it. I mean, it's all in the opening. They laying each other out. But my problem is with Judah. That's my calling, my purpose from the kingdom. Is to always speak to Judah, the house of Israel. But mainly Judah. Clowns. And Deuteronomy 28 said, until you are destroyed, you ain't coming up out of here. And I like him saying, he said, Deborah, they went in cursed, they're going to come out cursed. What do they think they are? These men got these men thinking they kings, rulers, and leaders. And oh, I'm a man, I'm a leader. Baby, you ain't nothing in the land of your captives. Just like being in jail. You're limited. So now it's time to show your spiritual side, not your flesh. But if you're showing your flesh, it's because you're born of the flesh and you're not born of the spirit. So you all out there, start ministering to people in the body of Hamashiach. Don't waste your time on these devil platforms listening to people who don't even know who the body of Hamashiach. They don't even know spirit and truth. They don't even have the light in their right hand, but they on here talking about they represent the Most High God. Sound clouds. All right, Sister Deborah says, shalom and shalom. And I appreciate everyone in the live chat, and I will be back. Shalom.